have it.
So, dude, when I went to the movies the other day to see Michael again, yeah,
for the 18th time.
No, twice. At this
point,
twice.
I was going to say twice for now. There's more. There's at least a third one's coming.
Oh, I feel it. I feel like I'm going to see it again. Because, like, when again,
who feels it too? Kid, Michael, he knows.
When I was when I was a kid and I owned Moonwalker on VHS, I watched that every day up until the Ninja Turtles came out.
Of course,
but
respect.
Even when, like, I've said this numerous times already at this point, that even when Thriller was, you were able to rent videos, like we would rent Thriller all the time. So, like, up until this movie comes out on Blu-ray, which I already have on pre-order.
Of course you do.
And there's not even a release date for it yet. You know what I mean? I just saw it.
Got it.
Special edition steelbook.
Fucking
got
sold.
the soundtrack coming. Got like 7 other Michael Jackson records coming that I'm kidding, because I have all Michael Jackson records. So
he'll buy more. He will buy more.
You're right. I need the special edition, like the ones that are like recorded from the original recordings and put on vinyl, like the special edition $60 version of it. Yeah, all that shit. The Wiz soundtrack,
whatever. You take your fucking pick.
Yeah, dude. I don't have the Wiz soundtrack. I'm like, oh my god, I got to get that.
Yeah. Oh, dude. How do you not have that?
How do I not have the Wiz soundtrack?
I'm
a lion. Yeah, man. But I saw, dude. I'm a special edition cup guy. You know what I mean? Like, I got this when, I got this when the Batman came out, and when I was the Batman.
Who made that again?
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves. There you go. By the way, I tried watching that movie. Not bad, but it's hard for me to get into. There's something about it. I dig the imagery, right? Cinematography is cool. It's just something about, I don't know. Nothing against the actor. What's his name who plays the Riddler?
Pattinson.
Yeah.
No, the guy who played the Riddler.
Pattinson's okay. I mean, as long as
he wasn't bad. I mean, we needed an emo Bruce Wayne.
I don't hate him as an actor. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I liked Twilight when it first came out. Like, it was a fun movie for what it was. But
it was good doing a show with you, bro.
Yeah.
Nice knowing
you. Cheers, mate.
No, I'm just kidding. I thought you like real vampires, like Buffy vampires.
Oh,
like,
I do.
What is that?
But I love vampires, so I'm going to watch everything. Buffy will always be my number one. Always.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. I mean, if you're talking about TV shows, yeah, Buffy vampires. But if you're talking about
the movie
movies,
too, the movie had. I mean, there'd be no show without the movie.
Fair, true, of course. But
come on, Christy Swanson in the prime.
Oh,
unless you're dead in your pants,
now,
there's no like.
Dude, even now, bro,
Christy Swanson was fucking awesome as Buffy.
If I'm going movie vampires, The Lost Boys.
That's a good one. I mean, it's a good one.
Fucking love that movie.
It's a good one. I mean, if we're doing like campy, like fun, Fright Night 2. I love Fright Night 2. I've watched that.
Dude, I know.
I always tell you.
Dude, Fright Night 2 was good.
And one is good.
The first one was
something about 2 is just Dave Greer's like all of them. Like, it's just that particular one is so fucking good. I love 2.
Right. But I mean, dude, there's no other vampire movie that has
Corey
Tim Capello. Tim Capello greased up.
Oh yeah,
dancing with a saxophone.
Meat Mountain with the fucking
dude
ponytail.
That song is awesome, dude. Yeah, that song is awesome.
I still
dude.
believe. I'm not gonna lie, man. That song is great for that movie. Yeah,
it is. It is so catchy,
dude. And it gave him a career for that because of that movie.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he does signings.
Yeah, I know.
He does conventions. Yeah, and
and I still
deservedly
believe
so,
I
man.
do.
It's an iconic scene.
Dude, they had like purple, like leopard, something like fucking
something like that. Dude,
he was so 80s rocked out, man.
He had 80s pants.
Yeah.
That's all you need to say, and everybody knows what the hell that means.
Dude, it's funny too because like back then, like he probably got so much ass back then.
He probably still does, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah, I mean, you still have girls that will still spread their legs for a legend of old. Like, it's like, oh my god, you played him 800 years ago? Take me.
Oh yeah,
they just want bragging rights.
You know, while he's playing Jamie Gertz dancing like that. You know, when Jason Patrick notices her dancing and she's like checking him out, kind of, and she's just, I mean, she was always gorgeous, but like that scene, like, the way she's dancing right there was just so hot. It was
Yeah, dude,
hot.
visual, like, we've talked about this before, like, nuances of things, you know, like, when you listen to a song, right? And you listen to it and you watch a video, and sometimes there's certain songs that are cemented in my head with the video because the video just works perfectly with it.
Right.
Case in point,
Yeah,
one of my
absolutely.
favorite bands, Poison the Well, they have a song called Bachelor. It is a very simple video, it's just them playing in, like, a hangar, but the way it's shot and the way that the camera bops back and forth with the music is just I can't it's cemented in my head, it's amazing.
Okay.
Simple things in life. So, like, that dancing with the
Yeah,
music, it just you can't
yeah.
help but
It
it's
it's that
intrinsically,
memory,
yeah,
yeah,
alluring.
yeah. But, what I was saying was
The cup.
because I'm such a fan of, like, the special edition stuff, like the cups and stuff, they had a really cool one when I went there on Saturday for, Mortal Kombat 2. It was a black cup, and it had, like a neon green snake wrapped around it, but it would, like, protrudes from the cup, and it was really I was so close to getting it. I was like, "How much is that cup?" And she looks it up, she's like, "$21.95." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just take a medium,
Does it come
please,
with a
thank you."
soda? Like, do you get to fill it up?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
well, because it's those machines that, you just pay for the cup and you fill it up yourself, you know? But it's really cool looking. They even had a bucket. The bucket was alright, but this cup, I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta get that, and I
I
gotta show
need
Storm
it.
because he's gonna love it." But it's like, I would be buying it just to, like, drink it on the show and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, dude?"
Yeah, but it would be a cool flex, wouldn't it? Let's be
Yeah,
real.
right. Dude, I
I
mean,
now own this.
I see, I I have no problem paying for popcorn, sodas, and all that
Well, you get a
stuff at
garbage
at the
pail and
movie
you can
theater.
refill it, so it's worth the 50.
True, but it's like when the Captain America movie came out, and the
Which
last
Captain
Captain
America?
America movie, the one with,
The good one or the
what's his
bad one?
name? Anthony Mackie.
Mackie. Yeah, there you go. That is
So when
correct,
that
good
movie
sir.
Yeah, see, so when that movie came out, they came out with, like, a whole bunch of, like, they came out with the popcorn bucket, the cup, and all that stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, um, how much is, like, this popcorn bucket?" And it was, like, $50.
Yeah,
My cousin got it because it was like the helmet.
yeah.
They came out with a shit ton of, like, movie merch, like, stuff to
Oh, they
get
pushed
at
it
the movie
hard, dude.
theater.
They pushed it
Oh,
hard.
yeah, they did, because they really wanted people to like it, and I get it. Like, I don't have anything against Anthony Mackie, like, I liked him in, the Twisted Metal show, which I still have yet to see season 2,
Same.
but
I've watched, like, the first episode, I never went back to it.
yeah, well, dude, because, like, it's like, you kinda understand his character, you know the type of guy he is, so it's like, you don't hate him, you don't necessarily love him, you more than tolerate him, you're
I
just
agree
like,
100% with that, yeah.
"Alright." You know what I mean? It's like, "Alright,
Yeah, and I don't
it's
hate him, I
him,
liked
this is
him,
cool."
but I didn't care for him as a character, like, I had no emotionality towards him.
Right, yeah, I mean, dude,
You were rooting
that's
for him because he's the only one you're focused on to root for,
right, exactly,
but I adore the
but the other
show,
thing is
like, everyone, the side
yeah, absolutely. Season 1 was
what's her name from
fantastic, but
fucking, Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine? I
Nine-Nine, right?
love her,
Yeah.
she's phenomenal in that.
Yeah, she was,
Yeah. I'm
she's
sorry, I can't
pretty,
remember her
I
name eludes me at the moment, but she's a great actress.
so but anyway, so this bucket, it was a helmet, and obviously the popcorn goes in the top, you put the butter in, and it leaks out the bottom. So my cousin's sitting there, he's like, "Oh, man, it's leaking." And I'm like, "Oh, you're the one who paid, like, $50 for that thing, you know?" So I definitely get wrapped up in the whole, like, special edition stuff. I love the cups when I get them. Like, when the second Aquaman movie came out, they had an Aquaman cup that came with, like, a little mini, like looked like a Funko Pop, like, that sits on the top of the cup,
Not to cut you off, but I
and
just wanna actually a quick question, not to deviate too far from that. I know you and
yes.
I both love Jason Momoa,
Yeah,
but did you like I liked him as Aquaman, but I felt like,
yeah.
couldn't we have someone that was more, I don't know, like Alan Richardson,
Alan Richardson, yeah.
like, I don't know, it's just like,
Well,
it's such a like a departure, and it's like, I don't hate it, because I really do. I actually like, for anybody out there that's immediately building ire in their throat because I'm shitting on the Aquaman movie, I'm not shitting on the movie. I love Jason Momoa. I think he's a phenomenal
yeah,
actor, and he's a great badass. But
yes.
I liked him as Aquaman, but I just would have loved to see an actual traditional Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is crazy thing is, like, I never really watched, Smallville.
Right.
My cousin did, and I remember watching an episode where Aquaman was
Right.
there. Obviously, they were teenagers or whatever,
A
and
la
it's like
Alan Richardson.
exactly. Years later, when I saw Alan Richardson again, I'm like, I'm like, "That looks like Aquaman." So obviously, IMDb, is that him? It's like, "Oh, okay, that is
And
him."
that's before he
You know,
gained
he
a
made the
whole
whole
other
thing. It's like,
person in muscle.
right,
Like, he was
right,
still a muscle
and
then, but he was only maybe, like,
yeah,
210 as opposed to, like, 250.
right. He was ripped. He wasn't jacked.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, he said something like, he's like, "Yeah, Clark, you're a good swimmer. Maybe we should start like what do you call it? The Junior Lifeguard Association. JLA, Justice League America.
What association?
So, yeah, but." When they said an Aquaman movie was coming out, like, "Oh, man, how are they gonna pull this off?" You look at Aquaman, blonde dude, orange top, green
It's
bottom,
just a
whatever.
distinct look, and I dug it for the
Yeah,
comics, and I just would've been cool to
right,
see,
yeah.
like, considering that we had Alan Richardson, and considering that you look at how badass he could be after Reacher. If anybody's watched Reacher, you know what I'm talking about. It just would've been cool to see that.
Right, because after Reacher and all of his more recent movies and all that stuff, you see how badass he can be. You see the extent of his acting. Like, he was in that movie Ordinary Angels, where he plays a father whose mother passed away and his daughter has, like, this illness. Hilary Swank sees him on the news, his story, and is like, "Oh, I gotta help this guy," you know? But you see him being, like, not a badass,
Right.
Like, being a good father, being a
Being
sweetheart,
human.
the type of guy. Yeah, exactly. Being a guy who wakes up, has a roofing business, trying to make money to save his
Typical,
daughter and all
yeah,
that stuff.
quotidian type
Yeah,
of individual.
right, yeah. Based on a true story, of course.
Yeah, loosely.
So you see, and dude, I don't mean to mess up the name. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly
Oh,
Warfare.
yeah.
I didn't mess it up. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. He was great in that.
For what little
He
I
didn't have like a
watched, yes, he
huge
was
part.
hilarious.
Didn't have like a huge part, but he was great in it. He, again, a badass, but like when he talked, he wasn't like, "I'm gonna kill you." He's like, he's like, "Make him walk the
He
plank.
likes wood.
He hates Germans. So I'll give you $100 to shoot him
He
now.
loves
No, 100
yeah.
francs to shoot him now. Make him walk the plank. He loves wood."
I remember because I watched the intro. That's
Yeah, and it was dude, the whole movie was good. It was a great movie. I mean, dude, Alan Richardson and Henry Cavill,
yeah, I love those 2, man.
working, you know what I mean? Exactly.
See,
Both
Aquaman and
badasses.
Superman, what they should be.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, that should have been
That's the
what
part
that
that
movie
sucks.
was.
Yeah, that should, like, it's
Yeah.
we're robbed of
And
it.
again, nothing against Jason Momoa. I
Love
thought
him.
he did a great
Love
job
him.
as Aquaman.
I think he's a perfect Lobo. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I saw like a quick like view of him from like I think it was the Supergirl trailer
whatever it is at this point.
of
Yeah.
right, and him as Lobo, and I'm like, all right, that kind of looks cool. I mean, he looks
I
exactly
didn't see
like
the
the
look,
comic,
but,
which
like, I've seen all the AI stuff before when once he was announced that he was gonna be it, you have these really cool AI versions of him.
and apparently that was something that he's wanted to do. Much like Ryan Reynolds wanted to be Deadpool, he wanted to be Lobo. It's like, okay, so let him be Lobo. Give Aquaman to Alan Richardson. You know,
I just don't it
'Cause he's got
bothers
the
me,
look.
man, because I feel like it was a missed
As-
opportunity.
Yeah, because as much as you've seen like the AI renditions of Jason Momoa as Lobo, there was just as many of Alan
I know.
Richardson as
The problem is we never got that.
we never got that.
We
Could
never
it would have been
fucking
it
got
still
it.
would have been an awesome movie. I mean, I get it. They wanted to go with like a new look, and again, he was cool as Aquaman. I'm not shitting on the movie. The
I
first
dig
one
it.
was great. Second one, I didn't hate. I know a lot of people. I know part 2 got a lot of hate. I didn't hate it.
Well,
I enjoyed it for
what's the bed
a
shitter?
bit.
Amber Heard.
Yeah, but she was in the first one too. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Bed
like
shitter.
now all of a sudden, do you hate the first one because she's in it? I mean, come on.
Plop that doll
Nobody
up on the
likes a
pillow.
bed shitter. Nobody likes a bed shitter. Don't get me wrong.
Poor Johnny.
But it's like you go into the second movie thinking, "Oh, can't believe the bed shitter's in this. I'm not gonna like it." I didn't like it. She was in it. If you like the first one, again, I didn't hate the second one. I didn't love it either. First one was definitely a superior
I mean,
flick.
look at it this way. I loved the Flash. Flash is one of my favorite characters with DC. And you had that stupid little contentious cult that ruined Flash.
Yeah, I didn't.
everyone.
I mean, dude, that movie.
How did he win
Like,
that
it was-
role? How did he win? They cast it and they went, yeah, this guy's it. I feel like
Exactly.
like,
I mean,
how
dude,
did he win that job? Like,
dude, I would rather like Michael Cera or Timothy
oh, no,
Chalamet.
no, Sarah, not Sarah.
Shamdamalam, Charmalade.
Charmalade. That sounds like
What's his
the
name?
street
Timothy-
food stuff. Like they make that shit.
I'm really.
Would you like a
trying
glass
to
of
remember
Charmalade?
Timothy, is it Chalamet? He was in like that Willy Wonka prequel movie.
Oh,
He
I
was
know
in
you're
the
talking
Dune
about.
movies.
Yeah, the French actor, right?
Is he French? I
I
don't
think
know.
that's who.
Chalamet, yeah, Chalamet sounds French. You know, the guy who's been acting for like 3 years
And
and
he's
is
already
getting a star
considered.
on the
Yeah,
Walk of Fame.
yeah, that's right.
You know?
No, we talked. Yeah, because you brought that. You sent me that, and I'm like, I didn't even know who. I
I
didn't
don't
even
know,
know
see,
who he
like
was. I'm like, he's got a star
yeah,
already.
see,
I'm
like,
like,
I brought it up to a friend, and he made a point. I was like, "Look, fucking Keith David's been acting
we mentioned this specifically. Yeah,
for like 40 years." Yeah, I
he
mentioned that to him. I
just
was like,
got
"Dude,
one, and
Keith David's been acting for 40 years, just got one last year." And it's like, yeah, but Keith David hasn't been putting out, like,
bangers.
movies like Timothy Chalamet. Like, yeah, bangers, I guess.
Um,
Something along
we need to
those
scroll
lines.
back the clock a little bit, but I mean,
And
he was in the
I'm like,
thing.
I
He
was like,
was-
I get, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's the thing. They live. You know, there's something about Mary was a big
I mean,
hit.
these are
You know,
classic films like
dude. He was Goliath in Gargoyles.
Maid Marian.
Yeah, dude. I
I
mean,
know it's
the
pretty, but I
guy
didn't
is a
take it out for
phenomenal
air.
actor. Has been acting what 4 decades.
Dude, Men at Work, one of my all-time favorite
You know what I
movies.
mean?
One of my
Yeah,
all-time favorite characters is the one he played. I
yeah,
love that
exactly,
character.
dude. He was, yeah, he made that movie.
I
I
hate
love Emilio
cops.
Estevez. I love Charlie Sheen. I love the fact that that was their brother
Yeah.
movie, you know? But Keith David in that
He's
movie
my
was
favorite,
just, he
like,
stole the
yeah,
show.
absolutely.
He stole the show in that movie the way Jeffrey Combs stole the movie in Stream. Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, you finally saw it. I've been talking this movie up for 2 years.
Right,
You
but once
finally saw
again,
it.
in my defense, I didn't see it because it wasn't fucking available for 2 years.
No, yeah, dude. And I
I
listen,
wasn't sleeping on it. I
that's
wanted
fair.
to watch it when
but
it
see,
first
like,
came out. You know how much
yeah,
I love
see,
Jeffrey Combs.
yes, and I saw it in theater in like one of like the
Yeah, like
one of
5
like the
showings.
three,
Like,
yeah, like it was in the theater for like 3 days, and because I was already a fan of like the Terrifier movies, you know, it's one of those things where like you got somebody who worked on the Terrifier movies making their own movie, and I remember when I met David Howard Thornton the first time when his line wasn't, you know, when his line wasn't, you know, across state lines. Michael Levy walked up to me and he handed me like one of those little like postcards. You know how like when you go to a convention, people say, "Hey, check out my podcast, check out my movie, check out my fan film, check out
check it
my,
out.
you know, check out my merch
Here,
booth,
you throw
whatever."
this out.
So he handed it to me. He's like, "Yeah, this is a movie that I'm working on. You know, I worked on Terrifier with David, and you know, we're working on this movie, and it's going to be out in a couple of years, whatever." I'm like, "Okay, cool. You know, that's awesome." Didn't think much of it, but then when it was finally coming out, I'm like, "I got to check this out. I got to see this movie." Especially knowing that Felissa Rose was in it,
Dude,
Dave Sheridan was in it,
Danielle
you know,
Harris,
Danielle Harris, of course, you know.
Tony
So, and
Todd.
Jeffrey Combs, yeah, I mean, see, Tony Todd, I can't remember if I knew if he was in it yet or not, but the cameos in that movie were incredible. Dee Wallace.
Right. Legend, D. Wallace. Well, I mean, there was so many. Dude, it really was. It was like just filled to the brim. Dude, Tim Reed. Did you say Tim Reed? Father of
No,
sister. He played the cop.
dude,
Love that
Mark
guy.
Holton.
Mark Holden, right?
Mark
Yeah.
Holton, fucking Gacy,
Pee-wee.
you know what I mean? You know, he did one of those straight to video Gacy movies, which was also great. You know, every time I look at him, I think of Francis, you know. But also, you gotta love, like, I love that they referenced 2 of his movies. You know, Jeffrey Combs called him Chubbs, which is what they called him in Teen
Teen
Wolf.
Wolf, yeah.
And then when he was trying to like talk Jeffrey Combs out of killing him, he's like, "Listen to reason." I can't even say it straight. He's like, "Listen to reason."
I'm
Pee
listening,
wee,
yeah.
shh, I'm listening to reason. I know I've said that already, but dude, it was just such a, like I said, the idea for the movie, not a brand new idea.
No, but
You
they
know?
weren't trying to reinvent the
Different
wheel.
spin.
That's what I liked.
Exactly.
That's why I love the movie so
Exactly.
much. They knew what they had and they just rolled with it, and it fucking worked. And the one of the main reasons it worked was because at the top of the head of that arrow was the legend Jeffrey Combs, who outdid himself in typical fashion. Like, you could tell when he was
Yes.
filming when they were filming that he had a blast with that character. Because
Yeah,
you
dude,
could
I
tell he was
mean-
having so much fun because he didn't get he never really got for the movie. Not that I've watched every movie he's done, but he's never really played a role quite like that.
Yeah.
And so
And he nailed
yeah,
it.
oh, I mean,
There's no
100%, dude. But he was phenomenal, man. Like, he's the reason I kept watching, not that the movie was bad, because when it first started, it focused around the family, right? And so you have what I
Yeah.
refer to as the Kmart Great Kinnear, William H. Kinnear, whatever you
Yeah.
wanna call him. I forget his real name. He's a
Yeah.
three-namer, but and he is. He's like Edwin something, Edwin W. or whatever. So he wasn't bad. It's weird, and I said this to you in a memo. It's weird seeing Danielle Harris just as an older, like, we're so used to I'm like, for me, "Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead," Halloween, we're just it's you're
Yeah.
so it's you're so she's cemented to me as the younger chick, and it's weird seeing her now, and not that this is new, she's been this way, but it's weird just seeing her just, not being the badass, not being the one, taking it just being a normal middle-aged wife. And I was like, "Man, it's"
Yeah.
and I'm not once again, this is not a critique on the movie, it's obviously just the character she played. It's just my own personal you build up, when you watch a lot of movies and you like certain actors, there's always going to be this pretext in your head of what you expect from them. It's like and when they're playing something
Yeah.
different, it's like, "Damn." I was kinda hoping, like it's like I was hoping she wouldn't be one of the first to die. Like, I was hoping she would at least, kill a couple and maybe die at the end, but they did it with the guy, the Brigadier look-alike, whatever you wanna call him.
Charles Edwin
There
Powell.
you go.
And it's funny because, like, when I was watching that movie and I'm like, "This guy looks like so much older than her, though." She's born roughly 3 years before you and I
Yeah.
were, you know? And it's funny because, like, I IMDb'd him, and it just has his birth date, not the year. So,
Oh, you
like,
got
I
one of
have no
those.
idea.
Take away the
Yeah,
year.
exactly, but if you think
Usually
about it,
women do that.
he could potentially be the same age as her and just looks older. I don't know. He just looks a lot older, you know?
Oh, he
I'm
looks
like,
rough, dude. He looks like William
"Yeah,
H. Ma
dude."
he's got the miles of William H. Macy, like, the face and the hair of, like, Greg Kinnear, and he's got
Yeah, and
all,
it's
like, I survived a lot of drugs in my life.
yeah, well, I mean, because it was also the fucking Mallrats moment, you know? "Ah, him!" I'm like, you know, because Danielle Harris is gorgeous. She's still
Still looks
gorgeous.
good.
I
Yeah,
like
she does.
dude, I got to meet her in person. Sweet, sweet, sweet woman, and, it was just it's always cool seeing her in movies, the horror icon that she is, the horror
She is an icon,
legend,
dude, she's a
and
horror
it's like
icon,
and
like, she's
well, dude, I mean, her first movie was Halloween 4.
yeah.
It was the first thing she was ever in, and it's like, that's where it all started. Like, her first movie ever was what put her on this path. I mean, listen, it's not obviously, she hasn't only been in horror movies. I mean, dude,
No, she's a
when I
working
was
actress.
younger
She's been in many
yeah,
things.
when I was younger watching Roseanne, I had a crush on her, man. Like, to me, like, obviously, younger looking at her, I'm like, "Oh, she's cute, she's hot," you know what I mean? And it's like, she's still gorgeous. I mean, she was even in a couple episodes of Holliston,
Right.
you
I know you're
know?
a big fan of that show. That's
Oh, I love that
yeah.
show. I love that show. That's something we gotta get you we gotta find a way for you to
I
watch
know,
too.
like, I'm sure I'd be a fan too, I just haven't watched it. I've watched just that one episode whenever I had access to it.
Yeah, dude, I mean, like, I feel like that's something that you and I would end up, like, quoting all the time
Probably.
also. A lot of funny, quotes and
Like, what
shit,
I
you know?
watched was really funny. The Tony Todd one, that was
Yeah.
great.
Oh, yeah, dude, fucking he's, like, in the shower rapping about being Candyman, you know? "Ooh, Corey, she's just the type of girl that you wanna get ice cream for." And fucking
Such creepy, like, the yeah.
Adam Green and Joe Lynch, the whole series, the whole show is them trying to get their movie made, but really just to get a mock trailer done for a movie called Shin Pads, where the soccer team dies and comes back from the dead. So they're trying to get Tony Todd, like,
Trippy.
on board with, like, recording with them. He's like, "Shin Pads. I already signed up for a movie called Shin Pads." It's like, "Nope, that was something else." And he said the name of, like, something completely different. I just can't remember at the moment, but he was hilarious in that.
Tony
He was
Todd,
great.
man, yeah, legend. But dude
Dude, I mean, being Adam Green and, like,
oh,
having
yeah.
all these
Dave, all of them,
horror
yeah.
icons. Yeah, dude, because when you watch an Adam Green movie, you know that he's a horror fan. Because he got Kane Hodder as
Well
Victor Crowley in the Hatchet
oh, so
movies,
he did Hatchet the thing is his name, I'm sure I've seen some of the
Yeah.
movies he's made, I'm not sure which ones he has made.
Yeah, he did the Hatchet films. He did Frozen, obviously not the
Well, yeah,
Disney
of course
movie.
not.
I think we've spoken about this where, it was the kid stuck on the ski lift.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
saw that
that was
movie, yeah.
him. Digging Up the Marrow, which is one of my favorite, like, mock documentary, lost footage type of films. Really cool. And, again, I told you about Spiral,
Yeah.
which was a wild flick. Again, not the Chris Rock one, but, Zachary Levi was in it. Joel David Moore.
Please sit on my face. Love him. Great actor, dude.
Yeah, dude, he is great, dude,
He
and
nailed some
him
good
in
roles
this
for
movie
himself,
playing, like
though. I mean, not just from
yeah,
Grandma's
dude.
Boy, but he's
Yeah.
part of the Avatar series.
He's part of the Avatar
Dude, that's how
crew.
you're made, man. Like,
Yeah.
you're in the James Cameron series like that, you're good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's better than Disney.
Fuck yeah, dude. But I'm also the worst person to ask because I fucking hate Disney. Like,
Well, dude, I at this point, yes, dude, I loved Disney.
oh, I did
I
too,
loved
but
Disney.
I hate what it is now. Like, once again, we've talked about many things of this facet, but like what it is now, I despise. Do I love the stuff from back in the day? Absolutely, dude. I stand by it, dude. I'm always very open. I love like Little Mermaid was my favorite movie. I watched it a million
Oh, dude, I
times.
loved Little Mermaid.
My
Yeah,
cousin left the
absolutely.
VHS at the house, with my grandparents, and I sat down, I just watched it over and over again. I fucking dude, I love the
Dude,
old movies.
Yeah, dude, I have, Little Mermaid, like, they transferred it to 3D for
Right.
3D Blu-ray. I have that. They never put that one out in theater, though. At least I don't think they did because they made Beauty and the Beast 3D, they put that in the theater. Lion King, they put in the theater in 3D, which I also own. Because again, I'm a huge fan of 3D,
Mhm.
but
I
the
as
way it
well
was
as I.
transferred yeah, the way it was transferred, the animation kinda looked like paper.
Yeah.
Like, when it was sticking out, it looked like it was paper. They've really advanced the way they transfer non-3D movies into 3D because about 2 years ago, I think it was, they turned the original Jaws into a 3D movie and the original Dawn of the Dead. And the transfer was incredible because I had seen Jurassic Park. The original Jurassic Park, they also did that. They transferred it to 3D and it still had that, like, paper look. It looked like a paper dinosaur sticking out of the
Is
screen.
that rough,
But
that crude 3D projection, like the old school 3D, right?
yeah, exactly, and it was just,
Like
it was
very
like it was like
linear
looking
and
through
it's
a viewfinder,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah. So, that's what it kinda looked like up until, I saw Dawn of the Dead, the original in 3D. Like I said, it was like 2, 3 years ago, same thing with, the original Jaws. They turned those both into 3D movies, and it was phenomenal. Like, they really, really upped their game in transferring an old non-3D movie into 3D. There are so many movies that I wish they would do that
I
with.
know, dude. Dude, I'm still pissed that I missed the 3rd Avatar in the theater. I didn't get the chance to
I'm
see it.
not.
Well,
I
you're
would
not
have
as
liked to
much
seen it just for the 3D.
well, same. But I mean, like, you're not as much as a fan
That's
of
it, though.
Avatar as I am. I love the movies.
See, I thought the first one was good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was fantastic. The 3D was awesome. Same thing with part 2. I didn't like the movie. The 3D was awesome. Dude, I especially liked, Giovanni Ribisi. Like, I think Giovanni Ribisi is one of those actors who's a phenomenal actor who doesn't get, the credit that he should. The guy is one of the most
He is
versatile actors.
from an acting
And
standpoint.
it's not just because we're, he and I are both, Italian.
No.
It's just no, dude, the guy is very
Yeah. No, he's a
not
great
for
actor.
nothing for nothing. I gotta tell you about this guy, Antonino Giovanni Ribisi.
He's a
Guy's a fantastic actor.
quirky actor, man. Like, he makes some very interesting
He's
choices.
great.
Like, and I fucking dig him.
Right, but and everything that he does, he fucking nails, dude.
Mhm.
I mean, he was, basically the bad guy in Avatar. He was
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in 60
One of my
Seconds,
favorite I love that movie, dude.
like the fuck up brother, you know what I mean? He
Dipshit brother.
He was also in The Other Sister beside Juliette Lewis. And dude, I've been rewatching The Offer. I don't know if you saw
No.
that show on Paramount Plus. Fantastic show because it's about the making of The Godfather. And
Of course you watch it, yeah.
well, dude, I mean, The Godfather is a phenomenal movie. So is Part 2. Both of those movies are masterpieces. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen them in their entirety or even attempted, but both of those movies are incredible
As
movies.
I told you before,
Like,
I've watched some of them. Like I've watched a
okay.
little bit of one, a little bit of another, and one of those ones that I was like, I have to sit down and really watch this from the beginning, like start from scratch and go through it. And I just never really found like I'm just not here's the thing. There's certain types of movies I'm just not generally a fan of. And it doesn't mean that I don't like the movies. Like, just trust me, if the genre, like The type of movies I'm about to relay, there are movies of that variety that I do like. I just generally don't like watching them. It's not my go-to. Like war movies. I despise war movies, especially World War II. I'm so sick and tired of a fucking movie coming out every year about World War II. Like, I just don't give a
No,
shit.
that's
It's
fair,
like,
dude.
and same thing with mob stuff. There's plenty of mob stuff I've watched that I enjoy. But I'm so it's been so oversaturated for me. Like, because we're a little bit older, so we've grown up in the '90s. We got to see all of that shit as it happened, as opposed to now where it's kind of like it's still out there, but it's like most people they weren't around to watch and be inundated with all of it. And it's just
Right.
it's not a go to for me. Like, doesn't mean I don't appreciate the movies,
Yeah.
but it's not like I have to force myself to
Dude,
sit there and go, all right, I have to really want to watch it right now.
exactly, yeah. No, dude, I totally get that. Like, I feel the same way about war movies,
Oh, I just, dude,
as you
nothing
do.
turns me off.
I
Like, as
can
soon as
watch
I
them,
see it, I'm like, no.
yeah, I mean, dude, I can watch a war movie, but it's again, for like the way you feel about like the mobster flicks, I feel the same way about the war movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's I can watch them, but it's like it's like I've seen Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I've watched it, unfortunately, too. But
Thought that was a great movie,
yeah, it's all
you
right for
know?
what it was.
Exactly. So, I
It's
mean,
just not
it's
my
not
go
like
to.
yeah, it's like when people are like, "Oh, you gotta watch this movie. It's about, the Vietnam War." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
but every year, it's like I don't want to imbibe myself with war. It's fucking bullshit. Like, I mean that more on the
I know.
spiritual front. It's like they want to keep you in that low vibratory field, and it's like, fuck off, fuck
Right.
you, Hollywood. You're dying for a reason because you keep putting out nothing but fucking war movies and other
I know. And
ridiculous, like, whatever.
remakes and,
Yeah, like, I mean, look,
reboots and
it's
all
just
that
a
shit. I
tepid
mean,
pile of derivative bullshit pouring out of fucking Hollywood.
well, dude, I mean, apparently A24 wants to remake or reboot the Texas Chainsaw
How many
Massacre
times are you gonna
and
reboot it
wants to
though?
make
Like,
exactly, and
dude,
it's
the
like they
first
wanna
reboot,
make
you
he like
nailed it. Arlie Ermy, like, fantastic. Move on. How many times you gonna reinvent the fucking wheel?
you're talking about the one with Jessica Biel.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love
Jessica
that
Biel.
fucking
Yeah,
that
dude.
was a
Dude,
gory,
that was a good remake,
gripping,
and
like, it did it's how remakes should have been, or should be, like, especially when
yeah.
they first became the thing to do.
Right, exactly, because, I mean, because if you look at the original, it wasn't as fast paced, it wasn't there
Yeah,
wasn't as
but
much
that's
dialogue
that's what
either.
storytelling was back in the
That's what it was,
'70s.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly, and again, there wasn't as much blood in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre as there are in movies now. Because if you really think about it, you don't really see blood in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre until the final scene,
Right, because it
where
was
she's
all
all covered in blood because they try to not try to bash her head in and all
it's
that
the
shit,
intimation of it, though, like, it's the subtlety.
Right.
Remember old school movies where you only saw the monster, like, at the very end? Like, so you build up the
Yeah.
suspense. We've lost the art of storytelling, and it's funny, now that you mentioned that in particular, it's one of the main reasons why I despise the Terrifier movies so much.
And I totally get that
I
because
tried watching 3
I
earlier today just so we could have something to talk about in reference to, the comparison. I couldn't get past the intro. Like, I was
Oh, I don't blame you, dude. The intro was rough, man. The intro was rough, and it's like when it comes to the Terrifier movies, the first one I thought was great
first
because
one's the
I'm
best
watching
one.
it. I'm like,
It's palatable.
exactly, I agree, right? Because it's like you watch this movie and you're like, okay, this movie is just mindless gore, no real story, but it's a fun movie. You know what I
First
mean?
one.
It's like you can
Yes,
watch it.
I
Yeah.
100% agree. First one, yes.
When the second one came out, I rushed to the theater to see it because I was such a big fan of the original. And I liked it because at the time, there was like this huge wait. Like it took like what, 6 years between the first and the
But
second one?
dude, with the time frame within that time frame, they catapult it was a meteoric rise in
Oh, yeah,
popularity. So it
absolutely.
was a lot of
Yeah,
pressure on making, a real full scale flick. And that's to me
right.
where Damien Leone really shit the bed. For me. Like, I know there's tons of sycophants out there, they're gonna the movie, it went into the range of silliness and in like, it's I don't know, man, it's how do I put it? Like, it's horror infantilized. It's everything's so infantile in nature, and then you have one of the worst overactors, in my opinion, David Howard Thornton, who is so annoying, and he doesn't even say a fucking word. And just his mannerisms and his choices. Same thing with dude in Stream. As soon as he came in to see it, I went, "That's him, isn't it?" I go, just
Well,
look at
dude,
his
yeah, you see
stupid movements, and he's like drowning a guy that's already knocked out. Oh, you're such a winner. I go, "Fuck you, David Howard Thornton."
I know, dude, when you see him, like, by the tree, that woman's outside smoking a
He's
cigarette,
vomitous,
and you
dude.
just see him do the whole, like
Yeah. Oh,
and dude, I totally get it.
You're not in
again,
Broadway, bro. You're not in Broadway. Like, it's
yeah, dude, see, again, I'm a fan of the Terrifier movies, and you know how I feel about Christmas slasher movies or just Christmas horror
right.
movies in
Oh,
general.
dude, I
You know I love
3
them.
was meant for
Dude, that
you, like, in that regard.
exactly, but it wasn't.
No,
You know, I did
exactly,
not like
which
part 3.
shows
I
how
love the
bad it
look.
is.
Don't get me wrong, I love the look. I love Santa art, like, I think he looks awesome, and it's funny because, like, years ago, I made, like, a meme like, I was making, like, my own little, matchup memes, so I put, like, Billy Chapman, you know, from the
Right.
first Silent Night, Deadly Night
Yeah,
versus
the
Art the
comparison,
Clown, and
like, the
I put, like, a little Christmas cap on him. Next thing I know, Terror Threads is doing, like, a Christmas art T-shirt thing, and that was even before it was announced that Part 3 was a Christmas movie, but then it was like, "Hey, it's Christmas art." I'm like, "That's fucking cool, I can't wait." Went to see it, like, opening night, and I was disappointed, you know, because it was like, you know what part 2 was. Part 2, again, was like mindless gore, not much of a story, but it was still fun. You know, you kinda get to know, you know, they added, like, the whole element of, you know, Lauren Rivera's character, Sienna, and Jonathan, you know, and how, like, they somehow have a connection to art through their father's artwork, you know? And you don't know what that is, and you think that in part 3, you're gonna find some of that out, but you really don't. You just see, like, a flashback of her father drawing the picture of, you know, the warrior angel and saying that,
dude,
"I
it's
made
just
this for
mindless
you," and
storytelling. It's just it
exactly, yeah, exactly, and it was like, there really wasn't much of a story to it, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, you know, I was really excited for this movie, again, because you know, it was a Christmas horror movie, Christmas slasher,
which is
and, you
right up
know
for those watching, right up his alley. That's his
exactly,
he
right up my
loves,
alley,
like,
uh
Christmas or like, that's his shit. It's so for him not to
dude,
like it, like,
and
for you not to like it, you know it's bad. Like, that's when
right, and again, it's like 40 years after the original Silent Night, Deadly Night released. You know, that released in '84, this released in 2024. You know, you're seeing articles and you're seeing news articles of people protesting the movie, and I'm like, "Where have we seen this before?" You know, 40 years earlier when Silent Night, Deadly Night came out, and the problem was with the Terrifier 3, a lot of it was about, like, how he kills kids in this movie. You know, it's not like we've never seen kids get killed in a movie, but it was like, you know, I guess the way he does it, you know, it's just, again, mindless. Yeah,
dude,
you know,
I
just
hate him. I hate
totally,
his fucking mannerisms.
totally just hacking them to shit,
Dude,
you
at
know,
the
and
beginning of that
then
intro, because he kills the whole family, right? And then he goes in the kitchen, opens up that little cabinet, and the little girl's sitting there, and then it cuts to the beginning. So obviously you're presuming, okay, he's, going to kill her too.
she dead. Yeah, but again,
But it just was it's hard to watch,
so, you
man.
know, you're following Sienna around and Jonathan around, and it's like, you know, Sienna just got out of the mental institution and all that, or, you know, the hospital, I guess, the psych ward, you know, and there's like a fan base for her and her brother because they were a part of that whole mess in part 2. So you just kinda following this around, and then, you know, Art's back and all this shit on Christmas, dressed as Santa Claus, blows up the mall and kills even more kids and all that stuff. And again, anytime like a kid dies in a movie, it's hard, you know, it's tough, and I'm like, "Oh my god, he killed kids," you know, dude, I felt that way even when I was a kid, seeing
Dude,
it happen to
Assault on
Gage in
Precinct
freaking
13,
Pet
man.
Cemetery. Yeah, Assault on Precinct
It's not even a horror
13, man,
movie, but
that's
when that
still
scene, man, I kill dude, it's
that
burned in my head, man, and I
traumatizing,
was like,
dude,
"Wow,"
traumatizing.
like, he didn't hold back at all. It was because it was just
Yeah,
so, like, direct. I was like, "Yeah,
and quick,
yeah."
yeah. It's like, "This isn't the ice cream I ordered." The guy, you know, the guy was like he's like, "Man,"
Yeah.
with the
No
fucking,
hesitation,
no
no
hesitation, man, it
reaction.
like yeah. And so, of course, you know, seeing that, but the funny thing is, I love animals too.
Yeah.
I'll say this, I love animals. So the scene where Art, he, like, freeze dries a rat and then, like, smashes it, but there's also a scene where he takes this huge tube, sticks it down Sienna's aunt's throat, and just tosses live rats in there. So
So lame.
yeah,
This is so
exactly. So and I get it trying to be creative, but there's also,
Alright,
you
once
know
again, it's infantile bullshit. It's like Goo Goo it's like the visual equivalent to Goo Goo Gaga. It's like
and dude, I get that, but it's so funny how, like, when people found out that kids were gonna die in this movie, kids were gonna get killed, and people were, like, having an issue with it. Of course, the fans are like, "Who gives a shit? It's a movie, it's blah, blah, blah." Some people, of course, say
Yeah,
the
then the
whole,
rat comes
"I
in.
don't mind if kids get killed. I don't mind if kids get killed, but if they kill a dog, man, I'm gonna lose it." And it's
My
like,
fur baby.
someone was like, "Oh, I can't believe they did that scene with the rats, they killed those rats." And I'm like, that was probably my favorite kill in the whole movie. And it's not just because it was rats, but it lets you know that when it comes to Art the Clown, that like not even animals are safe. It's like the dude is out of his fucking mind. It's like that's how I look at it. He's a crazy clown, will kill kids, kill your mother, kill your dog, kill your rats. I mean, come on. If Art the Clown is that crazy of a killer and a dog is barking at him and he doesn't kill the dog, then it's like, all right. And again, I don't want to see dogs get killed, but I don't want to see kids get killed either. But it happens in horror movies because it happens in life. There are crazy fucking people who do shit like that. So it's like seeing Art the Clown kill an animal is not so far fetched, not so far out of the realm of possibilities of what Art the Clown can and will do.
It's so
So if he's
nonsensical, dude. Like
oh,
nothing makes fucking
absolutely.
sense. Like there's no basis for
So
anything. It's just, dude. I checked out. I told you, not to go on a jaunt with this, but like when 2 was out and I gave it a shot, I was watching it. It was on YouTube for free for briefly. Somebody posted it and before it got taken down.
yeah, I remember.
And I missed the very end of it because of that. Because
I was about to say, yeah, you missed like the last like 5 minutes or something, right?
while I was in the middle of it. But I mentally checked out the moment they were showing him in that bedroom and he's sitting in the bed playing with rubber body parts, clearly rubber.
Yeah,
And I just went, this movie bottomed out. Like this, at this point now, they're just milking, like it's popular, so this is going to make it. But when I saw that, I realized that Damon Leone just checked that. They're just phoning it in. They're just going to keep making bullshit, visual bullshit, because people just want to see gore. They don't want stories, substantive, like storytelling or anything of that variety. They just want like mindless and senseless, infantile fucking brutality. And if that's what you want,
well,
go for it. Not for me.
Exactly.
I want more.
Well, that's no, well, but see, like that's for me like the reason to watch a Terrifier movie if that's what you want. But if it's just the Terrifier movies, that's fine. The fact that all right, the way I feel about it is that the Terrifier movies sort of set a precedent for what a slasher movie is supposed to be.
Unfortunately, an all too negative precedent.
Exactly. So it's like if that's Terrifier's thing, let that be Terrifier's thing. Don't take what Terrifier does.
Dude, we
exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like if that's Terrifier's thing, let that be Terrifier's thing. Don't do Terrifier's thing just because that's what's making Terrifier famous. Do a fucking slasher movie.
Yeah, but dude,
do your own thing.
The problem is we're in the age of mindless mimesis. Like nobody can think of anything original. So if anything does pick up, it's going to immediately be replicated by everyone.
Well, see, like In a Violent Nature, shitty fucking movie. I'm sorry. It was a shitty fucking movie. Like I said, In a Violent Nature, more like In a fucking coma.
Is that what it puts
because
you in?
That movie was fucking boring as shit. I mean, listen,
nothing happened.
Everybody's like, well, you can't take somebody walking around for 2 hours or whatever, or an hour and a half, whatever. It's like, that's not it. It's like, the idea is good. You follow the killer around like a first person shooter, basically. The camera's like over the guy's shoulder, you see his head, whatever. He's walking around. He's following these people who stole the necklace that was on his gravesite, which who would know it was a gravesite? It was just a piece of wood sticking out of the ground. May have been in the shape of a cross. I don't know. I only watched it once because it fucking sucked. So they take the cross. He comes out of the grave to avenge his own death. Basically, they took this necklace that his mother gave to him when he was alive,
Sounds so silly.
And she died. Now he's dead. I mean, a lot of people are like, well, it's like a first-person Friday the 13th. No, the fuck it isn't. Friday the 13th is Friday the 13th. This was a bag of shit.
Bag of shit is a bag of shit, no matter how many times you step on it.
Exactly.
It's poop again.
Yeah, I mean, you see this guy take his mask off. You see his like mangled face and all this stuff. But the thing is, you don't hear the main characters until he's within earshot of them. So it's like you hear them talk, it's like, oh, what's that? Let's check that out. Let's grab that necklace. Let's go. And then as they're walking away, their voice fades. And then the next time you hear them is when he's close by. So you hear them when he's getting close by, and now all of a sudden they're arguing. You find out that one of these guys is the asshole of the group, but you wouldn't know that if you weren't within earshot of him. It's like, well, what did he do? Why is she yelling at him? Like, why is he a dick? You watch Friday the 13th, you know why you don't like Yeah, you know why you don't like this dickhead. You know why you like this chick. You know why you want her to live. You know why you want him to die. Vice versa, versy vasy, whatever it is. You know because you're watching the movie and they're giving you that little bit of character development, which you
Very
might not
little.
necessarily think that you need in a slasher movie, but you need at least a little bit to know who you want to live and who you want to die. That's why you love the villain in the movie. That's why you love Jason, because he's the bad guy, but he kills the good bad guys. You know what I mean? He kills the assholes, but the good guy always wins. It's like you cheer Jason on when he kills somebody that's the asshole, but you also cheer on the final girl when she defeats him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's like you love the character Jason, but you still kind of want him to lose. You don't want him to kill everybody. You want to love the final girl.
You bring up an interesting point too, because I feel it's necessary to at least relay what I'm about to relay right now. Not to anybody watching. If you're not sure what makes a good movie as far as horror, here's a good litmus test. If you're watching like a slasher flick or anything of that variety, and you don't care about anybody dying, it's a shitty movie. That's right there. Like it's
Yeah,
when you want
exactly.
everyone to die because you can't stand them. They did a horrible job at character development and telling a story. And it's been, dude. I watch you. You know me. I watch everything I could see. You know,
You watch everything.
like
Yeah.
I'll go in Tubi and I'll watch any new movie just to check it out because I'm all about trying something new. And I've watched some real like horrific movies. Like
Dude, that
yeah,
that fucking mummy movie
yeah, dude.
dude, I could not get through it. I don't know how you got to the end of that.
I trudged through that, man. That was a trackle, man. Like, that was like I felt like those Spartan races that became popular a number of years ago, where you have to crawl through the mud and like the fucking like with a log in your back and then climb over. That I felt like Atlas holding up the world, trying to get to the finish line with that movie. And I've watched some literally like abominations on film. And whenever you see a shitty film, if you have no emotional connection to any character and you want them all to die, then the director and the writers did a horrific job at making a movie. You want to root for somebody, and then when you watch a movie where everyone is just deplorable, they didn't do their job. That's a shitty movie for those that don't know.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you do sometimes find like that diamond in the rough that like you just like,
There's
you know
plenty
what?
of them.
Let me check this movie. Yeah. Like I don't know if you ever saw that Humpty Dumpty movie.
No,
That was pretty wild.
no, I didn't see the Humpty Dumpty one.
It was pretty funny. It was, I mean, not funny. I mean, it wasn't terrible. Like I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? It was weird, but it was watchable. I was able to make it through to the end. You know, not terrible. But within a violent nature, again, you got a new precedent set from the Terrifier movies. So whenever this guy is killing somebody, he's going the distance.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's already like this guy is like already bleeding and he's
going
like
for
killing him.
speed.
But yeah, exactly. But he doesn't just let him die or he doesn't just hack him. No, he's got to grab his body, put him on a table saw, and fucking push him through the table saw. There's a girl doing yoga on the edge of a cliff. What's he gonna
Naturally.
do? Throw her off? Nope. He's gonna bend her body backwards and stick her head up her ass like a fucking pretzel.
Yoga pretzel.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's
Like
like,
yoga,
well, what about the yoga? Exactly. It's like, well, what about the yoga kill? It's like, dude, that didn't make the fucking movie good.
None of
Like,
the
it wasn't
kills
like-
don't make a
it's like-
movie good.
Exactly. But it's like if that's what you're into, then yeah, you're gonna love it. You're
Like
gonna
if you're
love the
grabbing onto
Terrifier
that
movies.
as the reason for the movie to be good, once again, you're dealing with a shitty movie.
Right. And I mean, look, again, I rushed to the theater.
Of course you did.
To
Dude, you were
see
dude, not
In a
only you rushed,
Violent
but you
Nature.
waited like it was Christmas. Like you were waiting.
Well, I'm talking about In a Violent Nature also, because In a Violent Nature was one of those movies
You
that was
actually saw
going
it
to
in
come out.
theater?
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, a movie that's like Jason. I love Jason. I mean, look behind me. I mean, Jason's my
Oh, those are
favorite.
Jason masks?
But the thing about the Jason movies, I love them. He's my favorite, franchise killer. And when they say this is a movie that's like the Friday the 13th movies, I'm like, oh, well, I got to see this now. Even though it's not actually Jason, if it's similar, I might like it. It wasn't. Like I said, they took the idea that the bloodier, the more creative the kill is, the better our movie's going to be. No, incorrect.
No, it's actually a
didn't-
horrible line of thinking. It's just like Vader Zim when he was stealing organs because he thought if he had more organs in his body, it would make him more human. Same mindset. More organs equals more human. It will work.
Yeah, see, like, when
It
you look at,
doesn't.
obviously in the Jason movies, in the Freddy movies, the kills were creative. Of course, Part 7, Friday the 13th, Part 7, Jason smacking the woman I against a tree in a sleeping
What
bag.
about the dude he bent
One of the
backwards and
most
around the tree? Didn't he? Like, it was yeah,
Yeah, oh, you're thinking about Part 6, the
maybe.
cop.
I don't remember at this
Yeah.
point. It's
Yeah, he just he
yeah.
just bent his whole
Yeah.
body backwards.
Gave him a chiropractic
Um,
session from hell.
yeah, exactly, but some of them were simple, you got Part 6, the dude driving the Winnebago or whatever it was, knife in the head. You know what I mean? Some of them are simple. Don't have to go insane with every kill. The whole point for this killer is to kill. It doesn't matter
You're too
how. He doesn't
absorbed in
have
the
to
visual
freaking
thing. It's like, we
Yeah,
need to make
I
this
mean
over the top. Play with baby
right,
body
exactly.
parts.
I mean, dude, Art the Clown uses a gun,
Yeah, that's
but, like, every other kill and I know that pissed you
that
off, I
dude,
know.
that's what I was yeah, that was a
Well,
huge
dude, see, there was, like, this thing, and, like, a lot of people, think that maybe, they kinda took a dig at the Terrifier movies in can't remember if it was Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends. Might have been Halloween Ends, because Michael Myers has been missing for the
unfortunately, what a
longest
shitty
time.
movie for it to take a dig at something
Oh,
else.
absolutely. They found, like, dead people that they thought were, like, "Oh, maybe it was Michael Myers." Like, no, Michael Myers would never use a gun. So, like, a lot of people are like, "Yo, you think that was a dig at Terrifier?" Fuck yeah, it was a dig at Terrifier.
Dude,
I didn't mind it, you know what I mean?
I
It was
know, but
because to me, it was different. It was
we
different.
talked about this before privately, but just for those watching. My contention with Terrifier 1 was when he's struggling with that chick who was already, like, beat up on the ground, and he gets frustrated because she gets the better of him, and he just grabs a gun and shoots her. I don't give a shit about the gun and him shooting her. It's what it represented. It's like, I thought he's this big, crazy mystical thing, and he just gets angry, just grabs it. It was just so lame. It was just such a really, like, just a abysmal, like, set of circumstances that just, for me, ruined the character because it's like, "Oh, well, there goes this shit," 'cause it's I don't know. I just I hated it. It
And I get it. I get it.
hated that everything about it, and he and by he, I mean David Howard Thornton. Before I really got to know him more, you know what I mean? Because that was my first, introduction to him, and before I started seeing that stupid Joker and now Stream and further, um,
Yeah.
Art the Clown, the very performative and it's I he was the best in that one because it was less of him. You could tell now he's so full of himself, he thinks he's like this, like, master thespian, and, like,
Okay,
he
fair.
does dude, the when I just watched the
Well,
intro for
dude, I mean,
Terrifier
listen,
3, and
I'm
he's all about himself, like, everything he's doing, it's like, "Oh god, is this like
well,
Terrifier on
because
Ice? What are we doing here? Like, the fuck is going on? Like, stop it."
Well, because obviously at this point, Art the Clown is blown up by the time Part 3 came out.
Yeah.
And again, the first time I met him, he probably had the longest line, but it wasn't anywhere near what his lines are like now. There were like maybe
Ugh,
15
scumbag.
people ahead of me. You know what I mean? There were like maybe 15 people ahead of me when I met him the first time, and then there was like maybe 15 hours of people when I met him the second time. I'm a fan of the Terrifier movies. I've seen some of his other stuff. Obviously, in Stream, he's the same character,
Ugh, it's
just
insufferable.
a different mask. The Grinch movie that he did, same character, just different makeup. It's what was it? Screamboat, where he was Steamboat Willie, the mouse or whatever. Same thing.
I
You
I
know what I
I will
mean?
give him credit
Different
for one
makeup.
thing, he's adept at being insufferable without even saying a word, like, I can't I just look at him, he doesn't have to say anything, and his mannerisms are so loud that I just immediately hate him, like, it's just everything
Dude,
about him I can't
and
stand.
listen,
I
and
just
dude, I get it. And it's like when you watch, you see the Terrifier movie, you see Stream, you see um Screamboat, the mean one, which is, was like a horror movie,
whatever, take
Grinch
your pick,
movie.
man, they're all
Yeah, and it's like kind of look at him and it's like you don't like if you're not a fan already, you'll say it. But if you are, you just kind of look at him. It's like, it's kind of sad because like this is what he does. He's kind of a one-trick pony.
100% one trick pony,
Yeah. And
and it's
there
one
are
trick
obviously
without
other
words, that's like it's
right. Yeah. Yeah. Because the thing is, it's like when you look at him again, you look at him as the Grinch, you look at him as all these other characters, it's all the same
like being the
movements.
best
There's
Jason,
really nothing.
it's
there's really nothing to differentiate the characters that he plays that are silent because it's all the same movements. You know, it's like it's like Art the Clown in a mask with light eyes. You
Right.
know, it's Art the Clown dressed as the Grinch. That's what you kind of see. You know.
Well, also too, I just want to say this, another prefatory comment. For those watching this, if you love Articon, go for it. I'm not reproaching people liking it. I'm reproaching the character because I can't stand it. Like we're just talking.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean
talking about my
that's
feelings
fine.
towards it. Like I'm not reproaching because everybody gets so butthurt when they love a certain character. I just find it wretched. Like I just don't like him. I hate his choices as an actor. Like I hate his mannerisms, the nuances. He just makes me sick, you know? But I do realize that there's gonna
You
be
make me
people
sick.
out there that love it, and go ahead, do
Yeah,
you.
dude. Well, that's exactly it. Like I I'm again, I'm a fan of the Terrifier
Yeah,
movies. I'm
same
a
here,
fan
like,
of
hey,
Art the
what
Clown.
he cut in half here.
Yeah,
I hate it. He loves it.
right. But I like it. But the thing is, it's like I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna fight you because you don't like it. I'm gonna be like, well, where's the movie that you made?
Yeah.
Where's your character? You know, like that's always the argument. It's like, well, let's see a movie that you're gonna make. It's like, I could make a good movie. I don't have the money to do
Right.
it. You know, it's like, well, can you make a better movie? Yeah, I could.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
me the money and I'll
Fuck yeah.
fucking
If
make
I had
it.
the budget, give me the
You
budget.
know what I mean? I'm not gonna suck dick to make it, but fucking
Give
why
me the
not?
budget for it.
And see, when I met Damien Leone,
He seemed like
I
a cool
told him how
guy.
excited I was. Yeah, dude, he is. I mean,
I mean, I didn't meet him. I
I
stood back, while you met him, but he seemed
yeah,
like a
yeah,
cool dude.
yeah. Yeah, dude, and, again, this was before Terrifier 3 came out. I told him how excited I was for it. I'm like, "Dude, I'm so excited that Terrifier 3 is a Christmas movie." He's like, "Oh, thanks, man," I'm like, "Dude, I totally see inspiration from Silent Night, Deadly Night." He's like, "Oh, definitely, dude, definitely." And, the Tales from the Crypt and All Through the House, and I'm like, "Yeah, definitely." Because when Terrifier 3, before they even had, like, a trailer for it, they have, like, a teaser. It's not always, a scene from the movie. It could just be, like, a flash of a picture or whatever. It said Terrifier 3 and it was coming close to the screen and it had a wreath around it, just like the beginning of Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I was like, oh man, that's totally Silent Night, Deadly Night. You know, walks around with the beard around like under the chin, an axe, kind of like Billy. So there was that
Some
aspect to
promo
it that I
shots or something like that,
liked.
yeah.
Right, because again, I'm a fan of Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's my favorite slasher movie. And seeing some of that inspiration for the Art the Clown movie, it's what got me into the theater. And believe it or not, I saw it twice in the theater. Because after I saw it the
Yeah, you
first
wanna
time,
give it
I'm
another
like,
shot.
exactly, because I'm a fan
Yeah.
of the
I know,
franchise.
I remember. I
I had
remember
to
this
see it
whole thing,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw it again. I saw it a second time. Because the first time I saw it, it was at a theater by me because it wasn't playing at Alamo. And this was while I still had my
The pass, right?
season
Yeah.
pass. Yeah. So it wasn't playing at Alamo. And I didn't think they were going to play it. So I went out like the opening night. I saw it. I was like, all right, I don't know how I feel about this. So then they had it at Alamo. I'm like, all right, you know what? I got the season pass. At least, I don't technically have to pay for another ticket. Could just go there with my season pass, maybe even get something to eat, whatever. So I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like, I'm observing it. You know what I mean? I'm letting it sink in. I'm letting it soak in. And I'm just like, it's a shame because I wasn't feeling it the way I wanted to feel it. I was
You had high
really
hopes,
hope
man.
because like, dude, yeah, I really did because I thought part two was really good. I enjoyed part two. It was a fun movie. It was very cringy, a lot of a lot of cringe moments because of the kills. But again, with all those crazy kills, with all that blood, with all that gore, you know that that's what you're going to get with a Terrifier movie. If you don't if you don't raise your expectations too high for a Terrifier movie, other than it's going to be a lot of killing and a lot of gore, you'll enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, if you
If
love
that's
just
what you want.
mindless gore, yeah,
Well,
just for
that's the
you.
thing. I generally don't. I don't generally just enjoy mindless
I
gore,
don't. Less is
but I
more for me.
enjoy
Like, I'm more
right.
about the story
But
and the suspense than just gore.
right, but when it comes to a Terrifier movie, I enjoy it for that because that's what that is. When other movies start doing the same thing because they think that's what people always want,
Yeah.
that's when I
Well,
have a
because it's like
problem.
Sesame Street from Hell. It's like that same style. It's like a campy, like everything's
Well,
plastic and
yeah,
just
because
fake, and it's just all about, oh look, he ripped her eye out and he sucked it. It's
right,
whatever.
yeah.
I'm not into gore porn, and then
Yeah,
gore porn's become such a predominant thing.
exactly. And that's the thing. It's like almost every not every slasher since that came out. But, like, even the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake, it was, like, super extra it was extra gory. The movie sucked, but it was extra gory, and it's, like, because it did come from the same production studio, I believe, that did the Terrifier movies, and I'm like, I know it's not gonna be as good. I know it's not gonna be that good. I do wanna see it, even though Corey Cunningham was in it.
Corey Cunningham.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, like, you know, my whole thing was like, oh, he ruined Halloween, now he's gonna ruin Christmas.
He's definitely gonna ruin Christmas. Yeah.
Dude, it was just with the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake, I gave it a shot because I love the franchise. And again, as a collector, I purchased the Blu-ray.
Surprise, surprise.
So, yeah, well, dude, I mean, surprise, surprise. Fucking lady. So I purchased the Blu-ray because I needed to have it in my collection. I'm not gonna get a poster though. Okay.
That's where he draws the line.
That's where I draw the line. I'm not putting
changed
fucking
my
Corey
mind.
Cunningham. I mean, even though the poster kind of mimics the European poster from the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, even though that's a thing. So I was kind of intrigued because I'm like, oh man, that's so cool that they, you know,
you're sitting on the fence.
Pay tribute to that. The only thing that I liked about the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake was the fact that they, like, when they paid homage to the original. And it's not just like the kills that they copied or whatever, the music.
It's the least they could have done.
Silent Night, Deadly Night had its own soundtrack, its own music, its own Christmas songs. You know, that's huge for a movie to do.
Carpenter-esque.
To write their own Christmas music for a movie on top of the score for the movie. So there were some of those songs that were written for the original movie that were in this remake. Unfortunately, they did not play Warm Side of the Door, which is the best song on the whole album, which, like, I'll listen to even when it's not Christmas. What?
You said Warm Side of the Door. I'm like, is that the bloody side of the door?
No.
Where the body's
it's
hanging?
The warm side of the door. Because there are always people who will love you. They will kiss you and hug you. And it's always Christmas on the warm side of the door. Okay?
It's creepy.
Just remember that.
It's creepy.
There's always people who love you. Gonna kiss you and hug you. And it's always Christmas.
It's got that whole...
on the warm side.
What makes a man? Now you're a man. You got that.
There'll be chicken and gravy. Yeah. Great song, man. It's Christmas. It was a Christmas flu.
It's a Christmas song.
Did they play? I think one of the songs they played was Sleigh Rider. Sleigh Rider, he's looking for you.
And that really is Sleigh like Trey Rider, Parker and Matt Stone.
Gonna do? What's that?
Very Trey Parker, Matt Stone-esque. Like it.
I know, but it was serious though. It's like you listen to it now and you're like, what the hell? But dude, it's like I can't help but listen to those songs. So when those songs came on, I'm like sitting there doing this shit. Like no one knows what the hell's going on but me. You know, I'm the one who's sitting there like, yeah, man. Like looking around, it's like, does anybody know what this song is? Raise your hand. Dude, I was gonna sing out loud, just be like, I know this song.
Me. I'm the
I
ultimate
have 7
fan.
different versions of this album.
I'm the Para Acme
CDs,
fan.
records, different colors, you know, same cover, different color records, different cover, same color records.
What do you have? You know?
Nothing. What do you have? You didn't stand out at 5 o'clock in the morning outside of a record store on record store day to get that record, did you? No. You could stand on the cold side of the door.
Player, do you?
Get your ass on the cold side of the door. You don't belong here. It's not always Christmas.
The warm side's for me.
Exactly, where it's always Christmas. Always.
The fans.
You belong on the cold side where it's never Christmas.
Here's a quarter. Go get
a
rat and gnaw that thing off your face.
No Christmas for you.
Yeah, man.
Game over.
The warm side of the door. That is a funny.
Show me the receipts.
Show me the receipts. Staple them on the warm side of the door.
What's that comedian's name? Fucking he did when he was doing Judge Judy. Pablo something.
Pablo Francisco.
Yeah. When he was doing Judge Judy, he's like, show me the receipts.
Yeah. Dude, that dude's the best.
I'm the boss, applesauce. Dude, he does it so well too, man. That guy's hilarious.
Dude, his impressions are great, man.
And it's crazy because like I hadn't seen like anything of him in years.
And then we talked about him, and then all of a sudden we just saw this flurry of stuff on social media, and I'm like,
yeah,
wow, that's weird.
And he looks the same. Like I'm like, is this old footage or like, you know? 'cause the last time I saw him was, like, before social media, if I'm not
Dude,
mistaken.
like, the when last time I saw him was, like, during cable years, like, because I was watching the Comedy
Yeah.
Central and, his special, that special, we watched that, like, 1,000 times, like, it was so
Oh, yeah, I remember Little
yeah.
Tortilla Boy.
Huevo
Arnold
splash.
Schwarzenegger.
"You sexy motherfucker! Listen
Arnold
to me and
Schwarzenegger
keep your head
is
down. They're trying to steal my tortillas." Dude, it's the best.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is Little Tortilla Boy.
The way he did it. Action. Get down. More action. Get down again.
Yeah. He did, like, the
Yeah,
slow
yeah.
motion run and, like, the heartbeat, right? Like
Dude, yeah, he's right.
yeah. Yeah.
No.
That dude was
Yeah,
great, man,
Papa
and it was
Francisco's
crazy just seeing,
fantastic,
like
man.
dude yeah, and it was just crazy seeing, like, some of his stuff pop up on social media, and I'm
And
looking at him
newer
like,
stuff
he
too.
looks
Maybe not
yeah, a
brand new, but,
lot,
like,
yeah.
not from the '90s, like, actual the 2010s or somewhere in that range.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, he looked exactly the same as he did in the
Yeah,
'90s,
yeah,
so
just
it's
a
like,
little
I
bit
feel
older,
like
but he's still the same.
yeah, yeah.
Probably.
"I'm the boss,
Dude,
applesauce!"
he's phenomenal, like
Yeah. Good impressions, like,
I'm surprised he
uh
isn't bigger. Like, when you see how funny he is,
I know.
like, I watch Kill Tony every week, and it's like, he's obviously not
Yeah.
part of, like, what they refer to as the Rogan sphere and all that shit, but it's like, man, so many comedians, like, are on that show that I love, and it's like, man, he's like, man, it'd be cool to see him on an episode, you know?
I know, it's crazy, like, seeing some of the comedians that we watched when we were younger, like, just popping up more often now, like Brian Regan. Brian Regan was always
Dude, he's
hilarious.
another one,
He always did
gone
that
for
yeah.
decades, like,
Yeah, I have not seen him in so long, and now all of a sudden, like, he was popping
yeah.
up everywhere on my feed. Like,
And I
some
always
older
circle back to
stuff
him, like, he's like one of those
yeah.
comedians I'll go back and watch, some of the specials.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, like, and he had that basically an iconic thing, "The big yellow one's the sun." Like, everybody knows that.
But one of the
How
best
did that
clean
not
comedians, though, like, he's yeah.
exactly, dude,
Him
yeah.
and Jim Breuer are probably, like, 2 of
Exactly.
the best clean comedians in the biz.
Is Jim Brewer clean,
Yeah.
though? He curses once in a while, doesn't he?
Not when he's doing
"Ain't got no
stand-up.
dirty bird ass like mine."
Like, I've seen him curse once in a while, but more in his show, like, like the
I get what
I've
you're
been
saying,
watching because
yeah,
he's
I
now that
mean
he's starting to do no, well, not starting, now that he's doing YouTube. It's great watching him because he just talks a lot, and every once in a while, he may say, like, a curse, but he'll, like, almost announce it, but he's pretty much a clean comedian.
okay. See, like, every now and then, I think about doing this show the way he does, like, just taking this off
Yeah, yeah.
the stand
That's
and
my
just holding
style
it like,
too,
"Don't
just,
know.
like, walk in and
Hey,
just yeah.
what's going on?"
I just don't have the room for it. I don't have the space to fucking walk around.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would it's like
Space is limited.
I also feel like I would, like, screw up, drop the microphone, and break it, and have to buy a new one. And it's like, it's like, listen, I'm not Jim Brewer, so I can't just, like, buy
Yeah, no,
another
we definitely
one
don't have the
tomorrow,
brewer budget.
So, yeah, exactly.
But he
So,
also has,
that's
like 20-year-olds in the background that do everything for him, you know? When you're big enough and you have
exactly,
everyone to do
dude.
all that shit, dude, imagine we had someone do this shit for us. We'd be like
Dude, I
it'd
mean,
be
in all honesty,
easy.
dude, if we just had somebody to do the editing for us, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that would be, like, top. Because I could move around with the microphone and be like,
Yeah.
eh,"
Run around.
and they'll fucking edit it to make it sound like it was just one
Continuous sound, yeah.
straight, continuous sound, Even make it go from one ear to the next,
Dynamic.
It's like, I can do the editing, but it's very minimal because it is so time consuming,
It is
you know?
100% time consuming, yes.
Yeah, dude, and it's like putting out clips.
The other thing about the videos I put, like, just a little minute it take you because you're trying to get it perfect, and it's like imagine, like, a 2+ hour show. It's just there's
Yeah,
so
exactly, so
much to go through. It's
right, and it's like with the using Riverside, like, it generally generates clips for you that used to go onto the app, and now they don't, so, like, that's been a real pain in the
it's
ass.
another thing when you have
So
a
it's like
program that works against you actively, like Riverside is
yeah,
right
I
now.
mean, because,
They
like, right
damned you up,
now, it's like
bro.
I got yeah, it's like right now, we gotta go into the web page itself to, like, take the generated clips or even make our own clips, which I've done before. I've made my own clips before, like, just from, like, the dialogue and stuff, but it's so much more time
It's
consuming than just going on
laborious.
your phone, long holding on it, fixing the sound on it, and exporting it and saving it. Putting it in, like, CapCut or something, adding, like, captions here and there, the name of the show, all that stuff.
Extremely
It's just been
tedious
such a
work.
pain in the ass.
Things have been working fairly well for the most part, outside of a
Yeah.
couple snafus, but it's why does it have to be like this?
Yeah, that's been a problem. I feel like The Undertaker.
You know, did your Undertaker have a doll of Diesel? Dude, that was the strangest fucking
I do have an Undertaker figure, but I think it's in storage right now. I have Undertaker and his brother Kane.
Kane. Dude, I fucking love Kane, man. I remember watching, like, scenes from, like, back, when they were having that feud, when you found out, like, the complexity of their relationship, when it's like and, like, it's one of the worst story arcs because, like, it is one of those times when Undertaker really tried to portray an actual character where it's like, "Yeah, just be the dead like, stop being more human, just be the dead man." And it that and I mean that in regards because it's like when he started explaining, he's like, "Years ago, when Kane and I were running around in the backyard," I'm like, "What the fuck are we doing here?" I'm like, "Dude, just" it's like, you're not a great actor, I'm not expecting you to be a great actor, but, like, it's too much, like, less is more.
You're a dead man, Ramsey.
"Whoa, no wonder you guys never talk. You know something, brother." But when he's explaining how he got burned and, like, all that shit, and I'm like, "Man,
Yeah.
this is taken we're in tailspin right now." Like, not the show, and, like, an actual full
Yeah.
tailspin, like, we're
Uh,
floundering in the air, just land this plane, bro, just fight, get it over with.
yeah, and they did that whole thing where it
Stop with
was
these
The
monologues
Undertaker's
that
fault.
yeah, yeah. I didn't mean it." Yeah, that was a like, a real Debbie Downer when it came to the storyline.
Yeah.
"Oh, yes! My Undertaker!
He's
My
here!
fart sucks!" Dude, so let's deviate with some good news, because I have to share this.
Okay, please.
As we talk about music a lot, obviously, music a massive component to our daily lives. One of my bands finally got back and made an album, and the album came out, like, back in March. It's just I've been so disconnected, because I haven't looked them up in about a year or so, and that's Poison the Well, and man, is that album it's like they never left. If you get, like, a band, like, it's
Okay.
so I'll give you a couple of examples, right? One of my all-time favorite bands, Faith No More, right? Went on hiatus years ago. Mike Patton, of course, is, like, the man of a million projects. Like
Yeah.
like, not as a
Yep.
prolific voice, but he has a prolific variety of projects that he utilizes his voice in different ways. From, like, 1930s Italian, like, music to sound effects, soundscape, weird shit, screamo, like, anything he loves to do everything.
Yeah.
So, when Faith No More got back together and it came out with Soul Invictus, it's like they never left.
Yeah, dude, that album
It's
is
like they literally just
awesome,
like they
dude.
it's like they walked out for a week and just came back, and it just picked up right where they left off. Another one of my
Well, dude, like, not oh,
no,
no,
yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry. I was gonna say, like, not even that long, like, after that, like, I think it was around the same time or maybe a year later when Cold Chamber came back
Right.
and did Rivals,
Rivals was
which
phenomenal. I love
that album was great, man. I listened to
once
that album
again,
a lot,
like
and,
they
like
never left.
yeah, dude, I mean, like I mean, like, I know it's, like, considered is Cold Chamber considered nu
I think it
metal?
is under the new metal genre, yeah.
I don't know, because like, I just call it jump metal because it's like when you hear that shit, that's what you wanna do. You just wanna fucking start
Bump and jump,
jumping, you
man,
know? It's
yeah.
like dude, and, like, one of my favorite lines, "Watching you walk, may the bridges you burn light your way into oblivion."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking love that song, like, that whole album was
It
great.
was a
You
great
know,
fucking
"I
album.
owe you nothing,
Yeah.
you know?
And dude, the funny thing is too, when you look at them, right? So, they had their run in the beginning, and then Dez went on to form a whole other band and have a whole legacy with that band. You know what I mean? Like albums deep.
Yeah.
What's the name of his other band?
Devil
Devil
Driver.
Driver. I was gonna say Demon Driver. Yeah, Devil Driver. Thank
Yeah.
you. And then to come back and just pick up right where they left off. 18 Visions, another favorite band of mine. They broke up for years and then came back together again, and then they came out with that album, and that is like they picked up right where they left off. So there's only been a handful of bands left that haven't, either have been broken up and haven't gotten back together again. And one of my all-time favorite bands that had that possibility of getting back together again was Poison the Well. They've gotten back for
Right.
reunion shows. Same thing with Chimera. Love Chimera, one of my all-time favorite bands. got back for reunion shows, but never actually got back formally to actually make an album. So the fact that Poison the Well came back, and I kept saying, I'm like, dude, just come back, give us one more album. And
Do it just for
yeah,
me.
yeah, do it for the fans, man. Just get back one more album. And they did, and I hope it's the sign of things to come. Like I hope, like this reinvigorates them and just they'll come out, and make maybe another album. I'm not expecting like 8 more albums or anything of that variety, but like I would
Yeah.
love to see them make another run. Like when Face to Face, one of my all-time favorite bands, when they broke up, they came back, because absence makes the heart grow fonder, and they started making albums, and they're still together, still making albums, and I'm so happy because I love that band so much. And Poison the Well, they didn't disappoint, and they're another band, like, they just came back, and it's like they just picked up right where they left off. I
Yeah, dude, I mean yeah, I mean, there aren't many bands at this point that I'm, like, expecting to, like, get back together and put something out. I mean, we all know that the Misfits have been, like, back together, Jerry Only and Glenn Danzig with Doyle. How wild would it be if the Misfits put out a new
An
fucking
album?
record?
Holy shit, dude, yeah,
That would be insane,
yeah,
man. That would be wild. Because when when I saw them, was it 2017 and 2018? Like, they ripped, man.
yeah. I
They
wish I would've seen
rocked.
them
Like,
then. Yeah.
Glenn Danzig was all over the stage, and he was Glenn Danzig, you know what I mean? Like, he was still able to do what he does. I mean, like, I think they're still doing shows now, and I think Glenn is doing shows, like, doing, the Danzig stuff, which that would also be awesome if there was a new Danzig album, Anything that Danzig does, I'm like,
Is he like, what
"Just
is he
give it to
doing
me."
right now? I mean, he's a workaholic, but I mean, like, is Danzig still alive? Is he still doing stuff? Like, I mean, the band
Well, yeah, I
Danzig
mean,
is
as far as I know what you're saying. I mean, as far as recording, I don't think so. I mean, he could be working on something, I don't know, but, obviously, the last thing that he put out as Danzig was the Elvis record,
Mhm.
which, again, I loved it. I loved it. It wasn't what I was expecting at all,
Yeah.
but I still loved
Yeah,
it,
yeah. No, we definitely talked
because
about
like
that,
yeah, I mean, again, because like, I feel like back in the day, if he would have done it
which he should have, but then I think with
in
last
his
time we talked
prime
about it, yeah, like, that album would have
yeah,
been
I think it would
stellar if he would have made it in his prime. Vocally,
yeah.
like, it's
Yeah, because I think it would be like more I think it would be more along the lines of what he did for, Trouble, the
Trouble,
Elvis
yeah.
song,
Looking
"If
for
you're looking for
Trouble? Yeah.
trouble." Yeah, like, I feel like the album would have been more in that kind of
Which it
vein.
should have been.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Right. Dude, how awesome! Because that's what I was expecting, and then when I heard the album, I'm like, "Okay, I love Elvis, I love Danzig, but this is an Elvis record.
Yeah.
This is G Glenn Danzig
Doing Elvis. Yeah.
literally doing Elvis." So, I'm like, I can't hate on it because it's it's not like it's false advertising,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I
No, not
mean?
at all. It's
But
straightforward.
it wasn't what I was expecting, but dude, I listened to the hell out of that album because I loved it because, again, I can listen to Elvis the way he recorded the music, so it's like it's basically listening to dark Elvis,
Yeah.
playing it the way doing it the way and his song choices kinda threw me off guard too, like "Pocket Full of Rainbows." "Got a pocket full of rainbows," you know? I was like, "Okay," you know? And "You're Always on My Mind," which I don't even think was Elvis's original. I don't think it was originally Elvis's song. I think that was Willie
And
Nelson's
I think that it is a Willie
song.
Nelson song, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Will I'm pretty sure it was Willie Nelson first, and then Elvis covered it, and then Danzig covered Elvis's version of it, you know? See, what would be cool if Glenn Danzig's gonna stay on that path, like, if he's gonna stay on, like, the cover album,
Right.
like, even if it's recording it the way the artist originally did it, I would love to hear a Glenn Danzig sings Johnny Cash. How sick would that be? I mean, he did write that song 13 for him,
He did.
you know? Yeah,
Dude,
so
imagine being imagine being Trent and Danzig where you have like a legend like Johnny Cash asking you to write,
yeah, dude.
like
That's
Nine Inch Nails
and
having him
dude,
do Hurt, it's like, wow, like,
I mean, and no pun intended, he nailed that song, Johnny
yeah, yeah,
Cash, when he did Hurt.
yeah.
I mean, he did do a whole album of covers. I mean, he did Rusty Cage. I don't know if you
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
that.
I heard it.
Yeah,
I
he did
had to
Rusty
listen to it. I love
Cage, he did
Soundgarden, man. That's
oh,
a
yeah. Yeah. And, he made it his
yeah,
own,
yeah.
That was the beautiful thing about Johnny Cash was like, it's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna slow it down here," and, it's like, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Oh, yeah, there's no way he's playing at the tempo of the original song.
Yeah, I mean, even if, like, he played those songs in his prime, obviously the songs came out after he was in his prime, but even if those songs came out in his prime and he was gonna record them in his prime, they would sound
The same thing,
exactly
yeah.
the
Yeah,
same, you
he's
know?
not changing it.
It was just his style, you know? And
Dude,
he,
that riff, man. I love Rusty. Dude, I
yeah,
love Soundgarden. Dude, Soundgarden's the shit.
yeah. Bad Motorfinger, I mean, that was my introduction to
Same.
Soundgarden, you know?
I
You
didn't
know?
like
Rusty
the first
Cage,
album I bought though was Super Unknown because that's when that came out. That's when I bought that. But superficially, I heard all the songs they were playing. You know, like all the singles from, Jesus Christ Pose. Rusty Cage. I mean, they had like what 4 or 5 singles off
Outshined,
Outshined.
yeah,
Dude, like we grew
yeah.
up, with MTV, with radio, and I've heard all
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
songs. It wasn't until Super Unknown came out where that's because that was the age when I started actually buying albums. When you start having money and you start buying stuff as
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
preteen,
Yeah,
and I love, dude, Super Unknown was like I was obsessed with that album, still am.
yeah.
And then I went back and bought Bad Motorfinger, listened to that, Louder Than Love, all that shit, and started really like.
Yeah. Bad Motorfinger was my first Soundgarden album. I mean, I didn't get it, like, when it came
But
out,
too, dude, same thing with
but it was the first
Metallica.
one that I
Like
bought.
I knew Metallica when Justice for All came out because all those songs were out, but it wasn't until the Black Album where I actually bought that album and then started
Right,
listening
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
And as I told you before many times, went downstairs in the basement where my uncle lived and took all the 4 albums, ran upstairs, listened to all of them, but Black was the first album I had. Like I got.
Yeah, and you had and you he had the Kill 'Em All that had the 2
Yeah,
extra tracks
yes,
on it
yeah.
too. I remember when I got it on CD, I'm like, "Where are those
Yeah, I
songs?
know. It was cool, man.
Where's Blitzkrieg and was it, was Blitzkrieg and Am I
Yeah.
Evil?"
And both 2 of my I took those are my 2 favorite songs on that
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, dude, both awesome songs. But since I didn't have that version,
Yeah.
of course, Anesthesia Pulling Teeth.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but dude, a song that doesn't get a song off of that album that doesn't get, like, the props it deserves, Phantom Lord.
Phantom Lord's a good song,
That
man.
song is awesome.
Dude,
Like,
'cause
I
it
love
okay.
that. Bow till your
Dude,
knees.
but
You
alright, so
know?
one of my all-time favorite singers, who I don't think I've mentioned here, but is John Bush, Anthrax. I adore the John Bush era of Anthrax. I love Anthrax
Okay.
altogether. I give, massive love for Joey Belladonna. I love that what he did in the beginning, and I love that he came back, still sounds great, and love what Anthrax is now. But I absolutely adore the 4 albums that we have with John Bush. I love John Bush. Dude, one of the best, probably most overlooked singer when it comes to, like, metal is John Bush, and he covered Phantom Lord, if I recall correctly. I
Wow,
think in one of,
okay.
like, because at this point, I can't remember now because 'cause it's been years, but, when you download, you BitTorrent all the stuff years ago, like, and there's all the bonus stuff, I'm pretty sure Phantom Lord is somewhere from
I
one
gotta
of
check that
yeah,
out because
I'm looking up now as you
Cannibal Corpse put out, like a cover EP, and one of the songs that they did was No Remorse. I mean, you can imagine what that would sound like, Cannibal Corpse doing
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, drop down, like, 2 steps, and it's like, you know, "No remorse, no rem" I mean, I can't I've never been able to do a death metal voice. That's, like, the best I could do, you
Yeah,
know?
well, the thing of it so I just like, there's stuff I watch on YouTube, like music. There's a dude I watch, I can't remember his name off, he's a guitarist for a band, and he often has stuff. So once you watch one thing, the algorithms keep pushing that stuff. So I just saw Chris Barnes has been popping up on my YouTube from that show and watching clips of him. And, like, I love Chris Barnes, man.
Mhm.
Dude, old school Cannibal Corpse is the
Yeah,
shit. Nothing against George Fisher's fucking awesome too. But they're
absolutely.
all, like, for
Yeah.
me, I'm so permanently bored of that type of metal. Like, I don't listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
Just because it's
I
just
mean,
very
I
one-dimensional. It's just like, you listen, it's the same thing. So when you hear them do songs like that, it's all just it's
I
boring
know
to me.
because
I can't get into it.
it's like exactly, it's like I love metal, but it's like I don't feel like metal has, like, really evolved, and I'm not calling death metal like a
Yeah.
de-evolving
No,
or
it's plateaued.
devolving.
It's been the same thing,
Exactly.
and it's always
Yeah.
you gotta appraise it for the consistency. Like, it's always gonna be what it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just never gonna be
I
more.
mean
It's just gonna be that's what you
right,
get.
and then and then there's just certain bands that you like more than others because there's just something different about them, like, I like Revocation.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Revocation's awesome because they have, like, death metal sounding guitars with, like, some thrash style vocals, uh, Fit for an Autopsy, they do a little there's just something about those 2 bands that I
Dude,
just
same
find
thing with Poison the Well. Poison the Well's
fascinating,
a heavy band, but to me, they're special. Like,
R
Jeffrey Moore,
exactly,
like, the
exactly.
lyrics he's written, they're very poetic. They're my style of lyrics. like, as far as because they're deep and they're very, like and you listen to him and his I love, from a singing standpoint, I love the way he decides to utilize his lyrics in the songs, and I just love it, man. Like, there's
Okay.
something very special that I to me, Poison Well is one of the best bands ever to come out, especially with heavy music. They just have a style that is I've never seen done before and never seen done since. So when they got back together again and made this album, I was just like, "Wow." Like, "Thank you." Like, if we only have this, like, if they
Yeah.
never, come out with anything else, I'm so thankful that they at least came back and came up with one more album.
Well, I mean, that's another thing too. It's like when a band does go on like some kind of a hiatus or they don't put anything out for a while, and you're sitting there and you find out that they do put something out or they're about to put something out, you just kind of sit there like, biting your nails like, "Oh my god, what's this gonna sound like? Is this gonna be good? Is it gonna
Like,
sound
well,
like their old stuff?
exactly.
Did they
So
change?"
much has changed.
Because right, because being Metallica fans, it's like we got the Black Album when it came out, which was 1991. We were roughly 11 years old at the time. And, again, we went back and listened to the old shit. It's like, we gotta hear what this other stuff sounds like, and it was way heavier than what the Black Album was, and we still loved
Yeah.
it. It wasn't like we listened to it and we're like, "Oh, what's this?"
Yeah.
You know? But when Load came out and the first single on it was Until It Sleeps, I'm sitting there and I'm like, "What's happening? Why?" Like, they said this was Metallica because it was on the radio. Like, it was in my I think I was in, like, my, sister's friend's car or something like that. We were going somewhere, and he's here, and here's the new song from Metallica. I'm like, "Oh, shit. Okay, yo, put it louder, put it louder." And it's like, "Doo, doo." I'm like, "Okay, what okay." I didn't hate the song, though.
No, they
I did not hate the song. I thought the song was great.
with that album, I said, it's a great album, but it's
Yeah.
an okay Metallica album. Like,
Yeah.
if we're judging it
Exactly.
just as far as an album, I think it's a great album. Like, because I had the tape, so, like, the last song on Eats Both Sides, The Thorn Within and The Outlaw Torn, I love those 2 songs. But as far as a Metallica album, that wasn't a step forward, that was a step backwards, and it was, like,
It was almost like a smack in the face for
for
fans, you
old
know what I
school
mean?
fans.
Again,
Yeah, like
yeah, like, that's the thing, it's like, at that point, it was, like, 5 years that I was a Metallica fan, but at that time, Metallica was my favorite band, That's what got me into metal. That's what got me into wanting to be a metal musician at the time, and just everything that they did up until the Black Album, I thought was fantastic, and again, Load wasn't bad. Reload, it took me a long time
I
to actually
despise
sit
Reloaded.
down
Yeah.
and listen
That's an
to that
abortion to
album.
me. That's an auditory
Well,
abortion.
dude, I'll be honest with you, man, when I listened to because, like, Reload was the album that they're coming back with. They're gonna bring out and that was like you think the name Reload is like, "Oh, okay, I get it. They're
Yeah.
reloading. They're fucking" and
"Okay, I'm
it was just more of
reloaded."
what right, and it was just more of what Load was.
It
I
was worse
I
than
listened
Load.
to
Like,
it
it's dude, I hate Fuel.
right.
I can't stand that fucking song. Like that that's the clicky bullshit, like that just that contrived, like,
Yeah, that's
nonsense.
like
It's
exactly.
the
It's
ABC
it's like
rhyming,
just
which I always complain about.
well, yeah, because it's that style of yeah, ABC rhyming. I mean, that's like it's like that, like Nickelback
Yeah.
shit, you know what I mean? It's just like a whole song of
I will say this, I think
catchphrases,
it's better than Nickelback, but not by much.
But, dude, I listened to that album for the first time not too long ago, to be honest with you. Like, I knew some of the songs. I knew
Yeah,
Fuel.
I
I knew
despise that song.
Unforgiven too,
How can try
you know?
that's your lyric. That's Unforgiven too.
Well, I
So
know because it's
clever. It's
called
because 2,
and
T-O-O.
the thing is, at that time, when that
Ass
song
claps.
came out and you're listening to the radio and you hear a train going by, it's like, "Fuck, which one is it?"
Yeah,
It's like, is it 1 or
yeah.
2? And then when it was 2, I'm like, "Oh, man, come on." And then there's, like, that, like, twangy, like,
See, but,
country s
like, once again, when I was telling you earlier today about Green Day, it's hard for a band to go back to what they were when they've been paid and made such a it's hard to be hungry when you're well fed. And it's
yeah.
like and I give Metallica credit for many attempts at trying to relive what made them so good. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's not lost to me that they've definitely tried. Like, they've been unsuccessful for me as a fan. I obviously successful for everyone else, but, like, Loved S&M. I just thought them playing with an orchestra was an awesome idea. Not new, yeah, as far as music, but it was as far as like a new stuff. But it was just
Yeah.
cool to hear. Like we saw it at MSG. It was really fun. Death Magnetica, whatever. It was just okay. We're trying to redo what made us great back in the day.
Yeah, see, I call that "Injustice for Load" because it
Yeah.
sounded like a cross
Well,
between
because it
Load and
was.
"Injustice for All,"
It's pretty much them rehashing their old riffs, but in
right,
the
and I didn't
style
hate the
of
album.
now. It
Yeah, yeah, exactly, I didn't hate the album,
I didn't
the
hate it,
song
didn't
that they
like it.
put
I had
out.
no emotion. It was just I was so indifferent to every song I heard, and I'm like, "Heard this riff 8 times already." It's you played this before. Like, it's all
So wait a minute, hold on a second. Are you telling me that you didn't like Unforgiven 3?
I didn't like Unforgiven 5.
Well, dude, ever since the Black Album, it was every other album
Yeah.
that they put out an Unforgiven song. So when whatever the Yellow album was, like the newest one, which I do own on vinyl, on like yellow splatter vinyl or whatever
Yeah,
it
was it
was.
"We're Still Alive" or something like that?
Yeah,
Whatever the
something
fuck
like
it's called.
that. And it had that song Luxy Turn On,
Oh,
and I'm
was it
like
a
looking at the track
7-7 or something
listing,
like that? Was it a number thing? 77 seasons? Season 77?
72
There,
seasons.
72 seasons. There you go, yeah.
Yeah, so that's their most recent album.
I listened to one song,
And
and
it
it was
was
okay.
so hold on a second. So 2008 was when Death Magnetic came out. I didn't realize it came out that long
Yeah.
ago.
Dude, think about how
And
long ago
then
the other album came out. The Lars banging on a fucking a trash can.
Saint
The
Anger
Saint
was
Anger.
only 5 years before that, in 2003.
Yeah, but that's how long that's been eons ago. I remember when
Yeah,
that album came out and they were trying to, like, relive them, their youth. I'm like, "What the fuck is this tepid pile of shit?" Oh God, man.
Hardwired to Self-Destruct came out in 2016.
That is the rehash central. That is
So
like them just
you
spinning
had
everything in a spin cycle and just going, "Okay, new song."
so you had Death Magnetic, 2008, and then 8 years later in 2016, Hardwired came out. Yeah, another 7 years later, 72 Seasons came out. So, obviously, they take their time with these records,
But that's what bands
and you
did.
just
See,
kinda
people
like
don't understand. For those watching,
right.
bands didn't bump out albums every year. That's a new that's we're in the age of massive consumption and an insatiability for consumption. Like, it's back in the day, when a band came out an album, good luck with the next one. You're waiting at least a prolific band would bump out an album every 2 years. Your average band would bump out an album every 4 to 5 years. Like, if you got an album from Metallica within, like, 4 years, that was them being extremely ambitious. Like, every year and back in the day, there was no Facebook, there was nothing you could just look up and hear them from their own words, what they're making or dropping singles that aren't even on albums. You just had to wait. Like, an album dropped and you're going, "Okay, this is at least 2 years before we even hear murmurs of a new album being made." It was
Yeah,
common,
because
like, that
yeah, because you
span
look
of
at
time.
right, sorry, and it's like, you look at, like, Pantera. They put out a record roughly every 2 years.
Which is prolific.
Like, even
That's
right.
ambitious, like, every 2 years, because that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, like, even when you go back to, like, their '80s stuff, like, their hair metal stuff, like,
Oh, yeah,
alright,
the power metal gr
Metal
yeah.
Magic. Metal Magic was '83. I Am the Night was '85, then Power Metal was '88, and then they came out with Cowboys from Hell in 1990. Then 2 years later was Vulgar, Display of Power. Then 2 years later was Far Beyond Driven. 2 years later was Great Southern Trendkill. Then a year later, they came out with 101 Proof.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wow, they put out okay, so 1983, 1984, and 1985, they put out, like, the '80s
Right, all
stuff.
that power
Metal
metal stuff,
Magic
yeah.
yeah, Metal Magic was '83, Projects in the Jungle was '84, I Am the Night was '85, and then Power Metal was '88. So, again, then they did Cowboys from Hell '90. Up until 1994 I'm sorry, up until 1996, they put out an album every 2 years.
And that wasn't unheard of, it's just the norm for
Yeah.
bands was, like, 2 years, like I said, was ambitious because it's a lot of like, you had to get in the studio, you had to spend months because you also had to tour. So
Right.
you're a whore for your company, whoever record company owns you. And once you
Yeah, so
come out an
then
album, you had to tour, so taking time to go in the studio and start writing and recording everything, it was difficult to do it every 2 years. Like, you had to really wanna make albums if you were bumping out every 2 years. It just was.
yeah, so yeah, and then after Great Southern Trendkill, 4 years later was Reinventing the Steel.
And that only took so long because they went through their problems at that time.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And I wasn't a fan of the album when it first came out.
I'm still not 100% a fan of it. It's
Me
grown on me,
neither.
and there's a handful of songs I do like that are emblematic of their old sound, but I still don't like it as an album.
Yeah,
I don't
see,
hate it, I just don't like it.
Revol Revolution is My
Oh,
Name
love that
is
song.
definitely the best
I
song on the
Cast a
album. Definitely
Shadow,
the best song on
those
the
2 are
album.
my favorite songs of the album.
Yeah.
Outside of that, the others are like, it's goddamn electric, I like the riffs, not 100% crazy about the
Yeah.
hook. There's like 3 or 4, I'll be magnanimous. There's about 4 songs on an album that I think are
Yeah.
cool to awesome. That's
Well, I mean, Great Southern Trendkill, when that came out, that took me a little
but that
while
was
to
a
get used
divisive
to.
album
Not
because a lot of
long.
people didn't like that album at first,
Right.
like you
Well,
were
because it had well, I didn't hate
no,
it.
no, I'm
You
saying
know,
like
like,
it. You
dude,
didn't like it didn't hit you, I think we both
not
agree
at first.
when Scroll Back, right? When I first got into them, I got into 'em with Vulgar Display of Power. When I
Yeah.
actually got that album and listened to it that was one of those albums where you became an instantaneous fan. Like, I just listened, I
Yes,
was blown
absolutely.
away. So when Far Beyond Driven came out, we were waiting for that album. We were
Yeah.
waiting for it to
Yeah.
release. Waiting, biting our nails going, "When's it coming out? When's it coming out?" And when it finally came out, we would just listen to it, and it was an expected mind-blowing because you knew it was gonna
Dude,
be good, and then it didn't disappoint.
yeah. And I remember going over to Herky Jerky's
Yes,
into
because
his
we were playing
den.
it in
Not
the
even in his
garage, yeah,
basement. It was in, like, the
we were
den,
skateboarding
because that's where
outside
this
listening to it before you got there.
Oh, okay.
No, because I remember he had the radio
well, yeah.
in the garage, we had the door open, and we were skateboarding around it, and we
Yeah.
were playing it out there.
Okay. But, yeah, I remember, like, it's like we got into the den and he played the
Yeah,
CD and I'm just like,
yeah.
"Wow," because the first, it was
Oh,
just,
yeah, like,
you
from
know,
the
that
moment it
just
starts, yeah.
energy. Well, and that was the same thing with Great Southern Trendkill.
Mhm,
The opening, it was just like like just a gut
yeah.
punch. It was just loud, crazy,
Yeah, just
scary.
freaking him out.
Yeah. And it's
I
like
love
from when you
the
first
Great
hear
Southern
that
Trendkill Band, yeah,
oh, dude, so
yeah.
do I, man. Because, like, there were certain songs off of that album that right off the bat you fucking loved. Floods.
Dude,
I
Floods is
mean,
one of my all-time favorites.
yeah, because
Tens,
like,
like,
when
all
you
the I love those.
yeah, when you first hear those songs, when you first hear Floods, you're like, "Wait a minute, what are they doing here?
Yeah.
This isn't heavy." But then you just fall in love with it. You just kinda, like,
Oh,
fall
dude, it's
into
so
it, and you're just
dark and
kinda like,
foreboding, like, Suicide Note
"Yeah,
Part
dude.
1, that's when
Yeah,
Phil's
dude.
going to his
Suicide Note
downward
Part 1 is
spiral,
like"
so you really hear it in the
yeah.
lyrics, and it's so palpable, but it's what a fucking album, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And, there was something about his voice
Mhm,
after all those years of, like, I guess the drugs, the
mhm.
alcohol, the smoking, and all
And
that
also the
stuff
vocal
about
change,
the way
just
his
doing
voice
thrash.
well,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying,
yeah.
though. Yeah, exactly. Just how his voice got a lot deeper and shit. Certain things that he sang it felt like there was a lot more feeling to it when he sang it with that voice, because when you listen to 101 Proof and you listen to Cemetery Gates and the way he sang it originally in, like, the higher pitched versus the way he did it in 101 Proof where, they tuned the
Yeah,
guitars down, they slowed it down a little bit, took some portions of it out, and just him belting
yeah,
it in his, Phil voice at that time
his range at that
instead of
point.
singing it high. Yeah, but it was like, especially listening to it in headphones, just the feeling, because there was more feeling to that, because you could tell how he was singing that he was pushing that out, that there was feeling behind that. There's feeling behind those lyrics, feeling behind the way he sang it.
Well, there's also
It
more
was just
emotionality at lower volume.
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
This is part of the reason why I never got into hair bands and hair metal because you don't feel anything when you hear this high pitched siren scream. It doesn't do anything for you. There's no emotionality to it. It's just a high pitched scream. And it's like with him though, like when you have those deep dark guttural things, you can feel the pain in it, and you felt it, man. Dude, I love Phil, man. Phil's the shit.
You just feel it more because he was able to work with what his voice sounded like at that point with that song. And, dude, it was a nice it's like the original, it's like, it's sweet.
Oh, the original. I mean,
There is a
it's a
lot of feeling to
classic,
it, yeah.
but I mean, it's not one of
Yeah.
those things where
There was something about that
yeah,
live version that just, like, it really, like, grips your
yeah.
heart, and it's like, because you feel it because he's singing it live, there's no cuts, it's just, this is this is my emotion
Yeah.
right now while I'm
This is
singing
my
this song, and
range.
it was
This is
just
my
like,
voice now.
yeah,
And
yeah, and
I
it's like,
herald the original. The original
I'm
was
doing this
great.
all for you. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not,
I'm just simply saying that,
totally,
like, showing, like, the high-end voice only goes so far for me. Like, it's
yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean,
and I'm not shitting on Phil's or anything. I'm just simply saying, like, I've never really been a fan. Like, old Pantera, like that power metal stuff, I'm not really too into.
yeah,
It's not my
yeah. See, I never really listened to it, but when you listen to Vulgar Display of
well,
Power,
that's the shift, but, I mean,
the
you saw
whole,
the beginning of it in
oh
Cowboys
yeah,
from Hell, and
and
Cowboys from
Cowboys,
Hell,
yeah,
that's what I like. I can deal with that. Anything
yeah,
before that in the sense of, like, where there's no incorporation of, like, the modern thrash, it's all that high-end power, like, stuff like that. I can't get into that
yeah,
shit. It's not
yeah.
my thing.
Well, dude, I mean, because like you heard the song Domination,
Yeah.
and it's like you hear that shift, it's like, I got nails,
But it's
and
still the
then,
blend, though, you know what I mean? You still have
yeah, yeah,
the tinges
and
of it.
and right, and then when Vulgar came out, it was all just, you
Vulgar
know,
was
Phil Anselmo,
they dropped their balls on the plate and went, "This is what we're doing now."
and they dropped the D,
Yeah.
like
Like,
they dropped the E to
"You should see
D
my
for a
dad."
lot of that shit. Yeah. But then it's like this whole album where it's like, "You're now
Yeah.
God for now
All
on," and
conceit,
then it's
yeah.
like, right, and
Du-du-du-du-du-du-du.
then it's like, "I'm close with his
Yeah.
mother. She cries
Dude,
endlessly,"
there was no band like Pantera, man. Like, they really people don't
Right, dude,
understand, like, you
that
weren't around at the time, so it's
yeah.
hard to appreciate. The same thing with a lot of people now that don't like Nirvana. It's like, I get not liking Nirvana now, but if you were around when they came out, they were so different at the time. Like, you couldn't help but love them
Yeah.
because it was
That's yeah, that's what
you had to be
made
there. I hate
them
to say that, but
so
it's
great,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But it is when it comes to
Yeah.
music, if you were
It's
there at the
true,
time,
yeah.
it's you gotta understand, music was not what it is now. Like, you didn't have the shit that you have now, so when that came out, it was just like a shot of adrenaline in you. Like, when Pantera dropped that second album, when they dropped Vulgar Display of Power, it was nothing like that. I can't stress to you enough, it was nothing like that at the time. Like, they
Yeah.
pioneered a different form of thrash, and it was just like, holy shit. It's one of those albums, like, you listen to it and your head literally explodes, and you're like, "I'm now a different person." Like, this album has literally changed
Yeah.
me.
Well, dude, I'll never forget when you brought that album over to Herky Jerkies, and we're like, "This is different metal, like, this isn't Metallica. This isn't, like, the type of metal that Metallica is," because at the time, we were, what, 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, and it's like we knew Metallica, we knew Megadeth, and then it's like, here's Pantera. It was like again, I think I may have equated it with this for other shit. It was like that moment in SLC Punk when the dude's like, "Dude, Rush is a great band," and he's like, "Listen to
Yeah,
this." Plays the punk record, plays the punk cassette, and he's just like, his mind's
yeah.
blown. It's like because up until this point, it was just Metallica, 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 and then all of a sudden it's like, "Well, listen to this," and it's like, I'm like, "Holy shit, this is
It was
incredible!" And I remember we got yelled at by Herky Jerky's
yeah,
grandmother because of fucking
fucking
hostile. It's
Bigfoot.
like, "Fucking!"
Yeah. It was
His
worth it.
grandmother would scream, "Herky!
Turkey.
Herky Jerky!"
Bigfoot
Of
walking through the
course of course, we're not using the
of
dude's
course not.
real name. Of course. We
Anonymous
just
for
call
a
him Herky
reason.
Jerky. We used to call him that to his face, though, so it's not like,
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah, 100%. From the
that was
cartoon,
like
the Herky Jerky, Brinky Chicken.
yeah, exactly.
But that's yeah, like, those albums, man, like, they changed you. It's
Yeah.
like you listen to that
Oh,
and,
yeah, dude.
like, especially, dude, and for those around now, like, that's when you weren't around during the that huge grunge, the genesis of grunge, that was such a game changer. Like, it's like because it was man, I don't like, being a little tot, and growing up in the '80s, and you had all the pop and bubblegum bullshit, and then just to have, like, this different, like, free avant-garde type of music, just they were such game changers. No one that listens now can appreciate it because you weren't there at the time. Because you 'cause you're judging it by everything you listen to now, and everything that's like, music's dead now, like, as far as, like, creativity, as far as like, it's like everything that's good now is revamping the stuff that was good 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, because it's like you can say something like, "Dimebag Darrell is the greatest metal guitarist of all time," and then somebody like, "No, he's not. It's this guy," and it's like some
Some
dude from a
math
newer
nerd,
band. It's
some
like,
math
dude,
metal guy.
well, exactly, and it's like, I don't know what math metal is, but I know exactly what you're talking about,
I'm
you
just
know what I
using it
mean?
as a
So it's like,
generalized term.
yeah, exactly. It's like you see all these videos of people doing like all these kinds of crazy things, and it's like I see bass players doing a lot of crazy shit, playing 8-string basses and slapping and popping the whole time, doing tapping and all that stuff. And it's like, dude, that's really cool. It's amazing. You're an amazing bass player. But it's like when you look at the history of like rock and roll, from what you know of it, it's like I will say, Cliff Burton, fantastic bass player, one of the best metal bass players. You know, John Entwistle, one of the greatest, if not the greatest rock and roll bass player. John Paul Jones, Geezer Butler, um, Jack Bruce. All these bass players are fantastic. And if I say something like, well, Jack Bruce is the greatest bass player of all time. No, he's not. You ever see this guy? Check out his YouTube page. But that's all he's got
Right.
is a YouTube
Yeah.
page. You know? It's
And
like it's
also
cool to do
too,
solo shit on the bass. It's cool to do solo shit on the bass and do all
yeah, but
those
those
YouTube
guys
videos
also
and have that
cover
fame.
all those legend songs.
Right. And they do it in different styles, which is fantastic. I'm not shitting on these
No, but I'm
guys
saying
at
like
all.
like they're influenced by those people that built that house, you know?
Right. Because there's a difference between your style and style. You know what I mean? It's like John Entwistle had style. Geezer Butler had style. They had their own style, but there was something more to what they were doing that even though to like the modern viewer of bass players, they might be like, "Oh, well, there's nothing special about what John Entwistle does." It's like, then you just don't fucking get it. And I'm not the
Well,
type
you're
of
not
person to ever
listening.
say
You
that.
don't listen. You have
Right.
to listen to it.
And I'm exactly, and I'm not the type of person to generally say something like that because, when I see a movie that I don't like and people are like, "Well, you just didn't understand it." And I'm like, "No, I understood it. That's why I don't like it." But it's like
I do
when it comes to
understand it.
music, yeah, when it comes to music, I feel like it's a different story. You know what I mean? It's like because there's you gotta understand the passion that was behind every note that this dude was playing. Because, like, again, if you listen to the song "The Real Me" by The Who, that song is all bass, dude. It's like a bass solo throughout the whole song, and it's phenomenal. I can play it to an extent. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to, like, toot my own horn. I'm not trying to slap my own bass here, but I I know what I know of the song. I can never play it exactly the way John Entwistle does. I just like grooving to it because it's such a good song and it's such an awesome bass line.
No, but it's true though, man. Like, when you look at that aspect, right? It's like if you really give it time and just listen to some of the legends, you can understand why they are what they are, and what they've and the pathways they created for everyone that came after. And music, in my opinion, as far as art forms, is probably the most subjective because it really is a time in which it's hard to appreciate certain bands when you weren't around when they first came out.
Yeah,
Because you have to look at the
exactly.
landscape of what music was. Same thing with movies, I mean, anything else, for that matter. But it's like it's
Yeah.
easy to look back and laugh at certain movies now and think little of them, but you weren't there when none of that existed at that time, you know? Not the and this is an example, not a great example in the sense that it was trashed, it's still a classic, but you look at when Jurassic Park came out, those special effects for that time were unheard of, and it still holds up to this day. But you can see somebody watching that now and being like, "Eh, it's okay." It's like, "Yeah, you didn't watch it back in the '90s." Like,
Right.
you're so used to CGI and everything that it's a very pedestrian movie to you, but that was literally groundbreaking when it came out.
It was, man, because it was a combination of animatronics
Yeah.
and
Yeah. It
CGI.
was the perfect
And that was like
blend.
in the early exactly, and that was like in the early stages of it, and that's what made it look so real
Yeah.
to us, you know? And it's like, dude, again, as far as that movie goes, there was no movie like
No.
it.
Dude, Terminator
There up
2,
until that point.
like, incredible movie when you see that, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
The Crow, I mean, all these movies still hold up to this day,
Right.
and they were just very special, and I only say that because you
Yeah.
really appreciate it when you're there when it first comes out, because you have it
Right,
to
or
compare it to what's out, not to what's out 20 years later.
yeah, exactly. So it's like back in the '90s when you and I watched The Exorcist, and it was
Mhm.
my first time watching it in its entirety. That movie is forever
Yeah.
scary to me because I tried watching it, like, as a kid in the '80s, tried watching it as a kid in the early '90s, and by the time I was, like, 15, I was like, "Okay, I'm
Yeah.
ready." You know? And around that time I mean, listen, obviously, you and I weren't born when we weren't alive yet when the movie first came
No, but we
out,
watched it
but
as kids, and none of what we have out now, like, all the gore porn, all that bullshit, that didn't exist. That was the most terrifying but it took me I had to watch it myself in the dark, like, 3 times to get myself over, like, that You
Yeah.
remember that because
Mhm.
I it's because after I got over it, I was like, "You have to watch it with me now." It's like
Yeah. Yeah. So right, and the other thing about that is, like, when people say, like, "Well, that movie's not that scary," it's like, then you just
once again,
I hate to
subjective
say it,
nature.
I hate to put
It's
exactly, because we saw it even though we didn't see it when it first came out, we saw it when movies were still like
yeah,
that, where there was still a build up, a
still
story,
story,
and
suspense, intimation of darker overtones, and it wasn't just overt gore porn and mindless storytelling. It was the preeminence
and
of
practical effects.
yeah, and
Practical effects, because everything now is CGI, like,
everything.
I even remember yeah, because you gotta think about, like, some of the stuff that they did to make some of that stuff happen, to make some of that movie magic. I mean, how nowadays, all you need is a computer, really,
And
like a
AI.
computer
Yeah,
program,
just
CGI program, yeah, to make it look like a girl is floating above her bed. You know? Back then, they needed machines, they needed all kinds of stuff. They needed ice to make the room cold to make the breath. Now, you could just CGI that breath in.
you could do
They were
everything now.
freezing during the yeah, they were freezing during the filming of that because they were actually in a cold
Dude,
room.
with AI now, you don't even have to have a green screen. It just produced the image and everything
Yeah,
around. Like, you don't even have it really is we're in a new echelon now where things are gonna be changed or have already changed immensely from what CGI has changed.
right, and again, when we were younger, watching movies like that, watching movies like The Omen, The Exorcist, The Changeling, it's like there was a buildup, there was a story, and there was something really scary about it. It wasn't just nowadays,
Haunting.
it's like yeah, it was haunting. Nowadays, people just want bang, bang, give me the blood, give me the gore, give me the killing, give me the death, give me the devil, give me Satan, give me the possession, just make it happen right away,
It's like an all-you-can-eat
right away.
buffet. You don't wanna enjoy the food. You just wanna eat it.
Exactly,
Consume,
and it's
consume,
like
consume.
exactly, that's why things like YouTube have these, like, 1 minute, 2-minute long clips because people's
Attention
attention
spans have
span
been
just
reduced to
aren't
that of
what it used to
goldfish.
be. Yeah, I mean, dude, if somebody who has never seen The Godfather, trying to watch The Godfather, who's so used to, like, having everything happen all at once, they're gonna shut it off because there's a buildup.
Yeah, the
There's a
story.
story that needs to be told. Yeah,
Dude,
it's
storytelling is
not
a
just
lost art now. It really is.
it is.
And it's sad because
Well, I mean, that's why a lot of these companies rely on making remakes because it's like, "Hey, that was a good story then, it's a good story now, let's just redo it." It's like, why don't you just, like, have an event where you put the original back in theater?
yeah, well, it's also because
Because
it's that salacious marketing mentality where all they're playing on is
yeah,
they know quality sucks, so they're playing off the nostalgia bump. They're just,
right,
"Oh,
they
they'll
know,
just be
but
so
it's
enamored with
also
the nostalgia that they're gonna not realize that the movie sucks."
right, but again, but it's also because people they wanna take the basis of the story, the main part of the story, and turn it into what a today movie
Mhm.
is. They're redoing Troy, right?
Yeah,
Aren't they
something,
redoing
alright?
Troy
Or
now?
the
It's like
Odyssey, right? Is
yeah,
that
it's
the
like The Odyssey,
yeah.
that was it, yeah.
Which
And I'm like,
I
"Why are
love
they
Greek
doing this?"
mythology, so I don't wanna watch it 'cause I just you're gonna see the modernization of it, but
Right, and it's all like, all the special effects are gonna be CGI, and it's like, you
or
think back
AI
to
at
the
this
days
point.
of, like, right, but you think back to the day of, like, Ray
Yeah.
Harryhausen, and it's like, all that like, the claymation and, like, the stop
Dude,
motion
the
and all
old
that stuff, it's
claymation was
like,
so wacky to watch, man.
dude,
It's yeah.
it was wacky to watch, but it was so
Yeah.
perfect because it was like,
Clash of the
"Wow,
Titans, man,
look at
going
the"
back in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah, man, and it was like that was real movie magic because you got monsters and shit that look like they're giants, and they're like barely reach your ankle
Yeah.
if you stood next to it. That's
So,
movie
yeah.
magic. That's how they made that magic happen. They didn't just have a computer program. I mean, listen, if you could create shit with CGI, you figured it out, good for you. Make a fucking
Well, it's
puppet.
like the nes yeah,
Make a clay monster, you know what
like
I
the
mean?
necessity is the mother of
Don't use
invention.
CGI to make a monster look like a clay monster, you know? Actual claymation and stop motion and all that stuff, that shit was real. I mean, there was a movie that came out on Shudder, a couple of years ago that was a stop motion movie.
Mm. Dude, you remember it's just practical effects, man, like, movies now, if they use practical effects, it's almost like an after it's, like, kind of like a novelty. Like, remember The Void
Yeah.
came out, and The
S
Void's a cool movie because they actually were like, "We're gonna do practical effects."
the movie was called Mad God, and this whole movie is stop motion.
God, I mean, how long it must
You
take to
know?
make that fucking movie.
Dude,
It must have taken,
I
like,
remember when it first came
eons.
out, they said that it
Started
took
working on it for,
a
like, 10
long time.
years.
Hold on a second. Mad God took approximately 30 years to
Yeah,
complete,
that sounds about
with
right.
Phil Tippett beginning the project around 1990, shelving it, and later reviving it through crowdfunding to finish the film in
That is
2021.
insane.
I mean, I get it. Shelving it takes obviously that adds
That's
more
yeah,
time
but
to it,
still, like, the
considering how long, who knows how long, but it was a full stop motion feature. And to be able to make a full stop motion feature and put it, like, on Shudder, not, like,
yeah, I
in the
know.
I don't know if it was one of those movies that
Well,
was
think of
maybe
any
in the
ti
theater for
think
a
about
day.
how
I don't
by the
know.
time it's done, how much time has changed, like, everything's the whole
Yeah,
landscape of movies have changed. I bet it just felt good to
yeah.
finally get it fucking done, like, just to be like, "Holy shit, this took m half my life."
Well, dude, but it's like that movie, what was it called? Boyhood, where it took 10 years, I think, to film it because instead of, like,
Oh,
aging
actually grow yeah,
actors, they
yeah.
actually aged throughout the movie, and when that came out, I was like, "Fuck, man, I had that I had that idea too." I always thought that was like I always thought doing something like that would be really awesome. I never actually saw
The
the movie because I was
dedication, though,
upset
for
that he's
that, man, because
yeah. Because like, I was upset that, like, he went into my brain and stole my idea, and,
I can't watch this. This is my the
it's like, "That's my idea." No. But, I mean, because it really is a cool idea, and I still have yet to see it, and I'm interested in seeing it because, like, that whole concept is it's awesome. Like, just take it to it's like, "Yeah, this movie's taking about 10 years." It's like, "Yeah, well, we'll film for about 3 months this year, next year, blah, 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 blah." And it's like,
God,
that's a
the
cool
like,
idea.
the
I dig that.
patience you have to implement for that, And not only that, but you also have to, make sure, like, everyone that's involved in that doesn't die or,
I know,
or doesn't,
I was just
undergo
about to
some
say
kind of
that, like
catastrophic,
yeah,
life-changing event because you're
yeah,
solely reliant on these people. You're dedicating, "Okay, I'm gonna make this movie around these people, and we now have to, like,
yeah.
nurture them and treat them like bubble people so we could finish this movie." It's wild, dude.
Yeah, see, like exactly. See, like, I always thought about how cool it would have been, like, back in the day when we used to do our own, like, home
Yeah.
movies, when we used to, like, make our videos and shit. It was me, you, my brother, my sisters, and all our friends. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, actual, like, features that yeah. Yeah. So, I always thought, like, fuck, man, it would have been cool if back then we did, like a jump to the future type of thing, and then, like, record first part, record the last part,
Like,
and then, like,
do
record the
yeah.
middle, like, 10, 20 years later. But it's like, you lose touch with people and shit. It's
Yeah,
like,
life
"Hey,
happens.
do you remember" Yeah, it's like, "Hey, you remember, like, 30 years ago, we did this movie that we never finished the middle? Where are
Yeah.
you? We need you." Yeah,
We wanna
it's like
finish it. They're gonna be like,
yeah, it's
"No."
like, "Listen," it's like, "Look, you could bring your kids.
Yeah,
It's alright.
do it.
Just,
They could watch.
they could be in it." You know what I mean? Fucking
Dude, that's what a project that, it's what an undertaking to have to,
I mean, listen, if somebody hears that, they'll probably end up taking that idea now, like, like, record something with people in there, like, who's, like, 17, 18, and then, like, record the beginning and the ending, and then,
we'll
like,
call it a sandwich
fast
movie.
forward to when
You
they're,
do
like,
the bread,
28. Yeah.
and then years later, you do the meat of the bread.
Yeah, exactly. But, again, you just gotta, make sure that they're healthy,
Yeah,
you know?
and alive.
Exactly. It's like 30 years,
Doesn't help
like,
if they're dead.
let's say, like, 15 years later, and it's like someone comes back, and it's like, "Damn, you gained a lot of
Yeah.
weight." It's like
You're like 3 people now.
yeah, well,
Not gonna fit you in the camera. We'll have to kill you off.
I mean, dude, let's raise some hell.
Raise some cake.
Let's raise some cat.
Oh, man.
So, it's been fun.
Yes.
Thank you for raising Cain with us.
Raising Cain. Reminiscing.
Raise some Cain!
That never gets old, dude. It's just so funny.
It doesn't,
It is a
man.
classic.
Oh, dude, I follow the page that it's just like
What, plays it
Wally
over and
World
over again?
Daily, and
Oh,
they just yeah, just like every day
they post the
they
same
just like
one?
repost.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love those people that commit to that, like, day
I
809 of
know.
this. It's just the same video over and over again.
Yeah, but some of them are like worth like seeing every day. It's like, all right, that one's good.
It is a classic, though.
Like, you ever see that one where the dude's like, it's like, my favorite swear words are bollocks and fuck, ha ha, and he like laughs, but they always like dub over his laugh with like some other
Yeah.
sound. Like, it'll be like a boat or like a fucking like zombie screaming or
It
some
was like
shit.
Taster's Choice. They just
It's hilarious.
like change that part every time.
What?
I said it was like Taster's Choice, where like they replayed, like they'll put out the video, but always change that dubbing over the laugh.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? Like where it's like it's not just the same thing over and over again. It's like
no, yeah. It's well, I mean, yeah. After a few times of like changing it, they'll go back to like an older one. But yeah, he's like, yeah. What was the word? What do you say? He's like, my favorite curse words are bollocks and fuck. But they always like, and like that's how he actually
that's the
laughs.
actual
And it's like
recording.
right, and then it's like, but it's like he opens his mouth so wide. So it's like the first time I saw it. Yeah, the first time I saw it, it was with like a zombie screaming. It must have been from like a zombie video game or something. So he's just like, my bollocks and fuck. Yeah! And then it's like, at the end of it, like he opens his mouth a little bit. So it's like, it's just like, yay!
So bizarre.
I got to see, like, I feel like I got to
find
My
Maloney has a first name. Oh, man. Good times.
All right.
Yeah, I think that
good times and a bottle of pills.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic night. Have a great night. Our next is episode 20.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. We got to make it a special episode.
Big 2-0. All righty, Rudy. Fresh and fruity. Dude, for real, thank you so much for joining us. And now that this episode has come to a close, if you really like what you heard, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies. Maybe they'll hate us as much as you hate them. Point is this, we really appreciate you stopping by and hope you come back for future episodes. Thank you so much. Peace!